Make sure we're good. We are good. All right, guys. Welcome back. Tradeskills. I'm Brandon. This is Chandler. Chandler works with me at Mellow Mushroom. Chandler is just an all-around awesome guy, and you guys are
Get pitted!
getting pitted.
Get pitted!
He's a surfer. For anybody that doesn't know, and for those that do know, cool. Good for you. You know Chandler.
You know me. Welcome to the club.
That's what I'm saying. Wait for this thing to log in.
Got some beautiful beers here today to try. A little bit of everything. Some things I like, some things
A
I
little
don't
bit of
like.
this, a little bit of that. You excited with Jake coming back?
Yeah, man. I'm fucking excited, really. I mean, Jake, it's my person.
Jake's my dude. Jake's got like 2 more weeks and he'll be back on.
Like, as soon as I get back from Texas, he'll be here.
Oh yeah, you're going off to Texas.
Yeah.
Yo, what up? Sumtang Wandu? Sumtang Wandu. Do I know who this is? Well, if I don't, Sumtang Wandu.
Gang signs up. What up?
Gang, 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 gang.
Gang, gang.
Let me try to adjust that. It's Mason. I'm playing Monster Hunter World Online, and it's awesome. And I'm so into it. Monster Hunter's that game.
It is.
Whenever is he playing online? Oh, he's playing online. Oh, shit. I don't know how he's playing online, but he's playing online.
Tag teaming. He's got one on his phone watching while he's playing.
Hey, that's what Twitch is, man. Twitch is all about that.
I wonder if he throws into his life. He's like, I go up at the top, these are my friends. Drink beer. Not doing drugs.
Definitely we're not doing drugs.
Definitely
No, I'm just kidding.
not.
But yeah, so we've got a nice selection of beers. Like I said, Jake will be back 2 weeks. We got a lot of cool stuff planned for when Jake gets back. It'll be great.
I'm excited.
I need to be talking into this camera. So yeah,
It has the best one.
I think that is the one that we're on. No, we're not. We're on.
Front face.
Yeah, we'll go to this one. Yeah. Hey.
How you
What's
doing?
up? You all right?
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
So yeah, Jake's gonna be doing lots and lots of guitar building when he gets back. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
Yeah.
He's and so I'll try to live stream that as much as possible. I'll try to make sure Jake's pretty good on that. That way you guys can actually see what's going on. Yo, Dinhead, what's up, man?
Actually, he still fucking owes me a guitar.
Jake does?
Yeah, when I got my reckless driving. Thanks, Brimberry.
Brimberry. He's that guy.
Brimberry sounds like this. Look at a thumbnail, Brimberry.
Brimberry drinking nothing but St. Bernardus. $15
Classy.
beer at Mellow.
It's a classy man.
He's like, you want one? You ever had one? You don't like beer? Get him a St. Bernardus.
get one
A
anyway.
glass, 55 degrees.
But with the clientele that gets in Albany, I'm pretty sure he's pumping out good money.
Yeah, no, he's doing well. But I remember a funny story. No, it's a legal thing. I'm not going to get into it. I haven't had any issues with Brimberry. He's a cool guy.
He really is a great guy.
So Jake's going to be doing lots of streaming when he gets on. I'm going to make sure that his guitar building, he's not going to be able to do the whole process because he's going to, he spends like hundreds of hours on guitar.
guitar,
So small stuff here and there, I'm going to have him live stream it so you guys can kind of see what's going on with that.
Make like a montage. Go 80s on it.
Montage.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to go into first? We got Against the Grain, Citra, called Ass Down. It's a double IPA. We got this Butter Buzz. I think that'd be a good one to finish with.
Yeah. A little sweet on the intail.
Bloody Show.
I'm definitely loving the, what is this, a lager with bloody, blood orange?
Yeah,
I love
so
blood orange.
it's unique can. I'm not understanding the whole like tying the heart down, but the heart's an orange.
Bloody?
It's killing the orange. It's like okay.
Okay.
And it's like Carrot Head. If Carrot Head was also Jason Voorhees.
So basically, if Carrot Head wasn't a rapist,
Carrot
this
Head's
is
not
what.
a rapist. Oh, you guys are seeing this here firsthand.
A lot of head.
Yeah. Super heady looking danker.
All I do is listen to Dirty Heads. Oh wow, that thing is definitely crisp.
I done goofed.
Ready to mingle.
I done goofed, sir. And then you get the nice pour, man.
Elegant.
Ooh, it's still opened up though. If you guys have watched the show before, I don't usually pour super heady like that. I like a good inch or so, but this one, I don't know if we got it from Temp. My boy V He's got some cool beers. He's got some very unique beers up there, and just wanted to show him some love and grab up some of these beers. But these are little singles, and I'm guessing this one might have been dropped and fucked up, man. V, damn. Jeez, can't have nothing nice. Damn, V. I'm trying to just work my way through it. The thing with his head is it's actually not like dissipating much.
No.
It's kind of just hanging
It's
out.
frothy.
It's here, man. It's here to stay.
My name's Blood Show, and I'm here to party. Smells like a lager, that's for sure. It's got the right color.
No, it's good, man. I'm gonna get this right so these guys can see this.
Well, check out the. It's too late after Halloween. Too bad, it could be a Halloween beer.
It works, man. Oh shit! I just noticed. If these guys are wondering why it's so damn
Dark.
the light, man, is not right. I didn't even turn any of this on, man. I'm just straight goofing. I was so excited about the beer that I didn't turn anything on.
Oh, well, we're here. We're drinking beer. What we're meant to do. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Is that more better?
I'm more better. Alright, I'm gonna have to dive in. I'm sorry. I've been waiting on you, but.
Get to it, man. My favorite weapon is the hammer. I am a hammer player, for those asking. I like hammer. I like the lance. Yeah.
A Monster Hunter?
Dual blades. I like the hunting horn. Yeah, he was asking what my favorite weapon was. I'm gonna show these guys this beer so you guys can catch a gander of that. Look at that beautiful bean footage. Look at that thing looking nice.
Straight up, sitting pretty.
I'm not seeing the Yeti on here.
Again?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Apparently they can hear us. So.
I don't think they can.
Can you hear me?
There.
Yeah, there we go. Pumping out.
We're back. I don't know if there was some kind of audio issue. I don't know if you guys could actually hear it whenever I went to this. So I'm talking, still talking, and I'm still talking. So, who knows, Who knows?
Not I, said the blind man. Not
For some reason, there's some issue with the Yeti just on this one camera. Just when I go to that one.
What, the beer camera?
Yeah, just the beer camera, man.
It'd be like that.
It do be like that sometimes.
Say love you?
I don't know why.
It is a good beer though, man. It's not too sweet.
Was it Gosi Cosa? No. I was trying to remember what it was in Italian. Like,
Not very well at Italian.
I tried to think of
One
what
of
it
the
was.
basic conversation.
Do you know how to say cheers in Italian?
No idea.
I forgot what it was.
I know let's go.
Andiamo.
And Mel Belleone. Bella Leone.
Bela Lugosi? Hell yeah, man. I love Bela Lugosi, man. Great vampire.
Oh, okay. Yeah, threw me off there for a second. I'm like, yeah, okay. It is a good beer. I would actually drink that. It's not too sweet. Not too over the top on hops.
Was it a double IPA?
I do not think so. I think it was just a lager.
We didn't even look to see. 10-4, Stevie. Bad thing is I can't actually see my comments. For some reason they're not pulling up in this here chat.
Yeah. Having technical difficulties, but
These things do happen. I was trying to get the restream chat to work.
What, on Twitch?
No, just restream, but it's being a chotch. It's being a guy, a dude bro guy.
Damn it.
So I'll just reopen it back up, These things do happen.
Tend to.
Alright, it seems fine. Your chat is waiting for new messages. I bet. Let's see if this actually goes out to people. Yo. Who knows? Anyways, where was I going with this? I was gonna check the beer. This one was blood orange.
Yeah.
We didn't even.
The Bloody Mary.
It was,
Blood orange.
it was a Bloody Mary.
Bloody show, sir.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Bloody Show. Excuse me. Against the Grain Brewery.
Yeah, they make good beer, man. I think we've got 2 of their beers up here.
Is that what I guess?
I don't think so. This is the Georgia Renaissance Festival. Oh, this is just promoting the Renaissance Festival.
Beer.
Georgia's first meadery. This Monk's Meadery. It's actually mead. So that's why I said we're going to do it at the very end.
Good.
What did you say this beer was called?
Bloody Show. By Against the Grain Brewery.
Bloody Show. Just so I can pull up some info. I probably should have done this a little earlier, but...
We are what we are, and we do the things we do. And that's how it beats.
Sometimes. Bloody Show.
Pilsner, okay.
I thought it said it was like an IPA, didn't it?
It said a German Pilsner from what it says.
Against the brewery and Against the Grain Brewery. It's from Kentucky. Those guys in Kentucky. So I've had their beers a couple times, and I've enjoyed all of them. This one's rated like a 3.8 out of 5.
I mean, I like it.
It's 84.
It's not
an 84.
too strong on the hops. It's not too sweet. It's a mellow lager. If you like Yingling with a little blood orange in it.
I could get down with that.
You know what I mean?
We're drinking it out of these sacrilegious Michelob Amberbock
Trying to
glasses.
keep it on the backside.
Yeah, I'm getting these glasses modified soon. I've got somebody working on that. We're getting a logo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're getting a logo and we're gonna put it on these, make it look real nice.
That'd be absolutely
Not
awesome.
that the camera could actually pull it up, but you know.
Out of personal preference, I guess.
So you're Denthead, you're saying that the audio went through that whole time whenever I was in the this mode right here, because it's not showing my audio up here. It's not showing it at all. But then when I go back to that, there it is.
Hey!
Hey yo.
He's that guy.
Wait all the gabagool. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. We still got 5 more beers to go, man.
I know. I mean, even these sours, I love the pomegranate. I'm not a big sour guy, but still love pomegranate. This is the one I'm worried about, the Rainbow Serpent.
You think you're not gonna like it?
I don't, but you know what? I'm open-minded, so let's see what happens.
We'll run it.
Run that shit!
So when was the last time? I know you like surfing and all, and you like to get pitted, and you like to get fucking like curls and shit. What do they call them? Fucking bellows and shit. And
Get in the tube and get pipe, bro. Oh!
we gotta have that censored. We don't actually. So we are drinking beer on here, and we are saying swear words. So if you're a child, you know, like don't watch unless you want to be really cool.
I'm sorry.
Maybe one of those cool childs.
I was so cool, I learned to cuss like a sailor. But, I mean, dude, it's been like a year since... No, that's a lie. I went back... What was that? I went back in, like, February or January, and then went back in March. And I went surfing both those times because the swells were kicking back home.
The swells.
And, you know, I just went in,
You got
Went
fucking
out.
pitted.
paddled out. I mean, we didn't have the best surf, but, you know, I got...
So you're a regular Johnny Tsunami out there?
I'm okay, man. I mean, when I was younger...
You're
I used to-
Kapahala out there?
You know?
Johnny Kapahala?
Like a hang of 10, brother. Like a hang of 10.
You, what, surf ninjas?
Yeah.
Brothers don't surf.
It was, you know, I did as a kid. I used to actually do competition surfing, and then I
Is it
realized-
most on the east?
No, actually, I went to San Diego one time for a surf competition. It's just different. I mean, it's not. It's a lot bigger waves. I can promise you that. I love the East Coast though.
You like a scuba?
I've always wanted to go scuba diving.
Oh, dude.
I free dived a lot. I mean,
Nah, man, go scuba diving. Actually, here in Albany, Picklesheimer, Shane, they have the Adventure Dive Center, and I got up with Kelly Polk. I didn't know that's what she did. I knew her through people, through mutual friends, and I mentioned that I wanted to do scuba diving, and she's like, "You know, I'm about to be a dive master, right?" Like,
no.
No, and I was like, "Well, I want to learn how to scuba dive. You know, I go traveling a lot, and I want to know that if I'm in a country that scuba diving's kind of a big thing, or you know, there's great reefs, or there's
Anyone in the Mediterranean or
anything
Golden
that's there's
Isles.
good diving. I want to go ahead and get that in. I feel like that's a side that I'd be missing if I didn't have that. So I got up with Kelly. She hooked me up with Shane, and it was really awesome. They had the full course. You pay the first amount, and that covers your courses. It covers your first dive. It covers your rental for most of your gear. So you'll rent what's called the buoyancy control device (BCD). You'll get tanks. You'll get your
breathing apparatus.
Yeah, you'll get your primary and secondary, and all that's part of the BCD. And you'll pay for your snorkel, your goggles, your fins, and your booties.
I mean, I've only free dived. I free dived a couple of seaweed flats in Ireland, outside Faughey Bay. Loved it. Beautiful area. I free dived Jenny Springs. All their springs there. Go down 80 feet, come back up, breath for air.
Almost died.
Almost dying, and then I free dived in the Virgin Isles. There was one of the isles, I can't remember where I went. There was a sunken ship. I was, a good 50 feet down. I free dived into. And that's my experience, man. The only aerator I ever had on me was in a pool.
Zach said we look like some sexy bitches. Zach Russell. Says that was my response to "Can you hear me, y'all?" Y'all are doing great. Thank you. Audio's coming through good. Beer's coming through good.
Beer's great.
But dude, there's something awesome about just diving and being down there for a good amount of time. Not really worried. You are worried about your air, but you can check all of that. You can check it all, and you can see. At this depth, I can be at this depth for 10 more minutes or 8 more minutes, and after that, I got to come up, and it gives me a little bit more time. Checking out how much your pressure. I'm like a super heavy breather. I like just suck up the air. I've got a large lung capacity, so
it's in and out.
So I take deep breaths and long, slow exhaling, and I run through a tank pretty quick. So you run at a partner system. You have somebody dive with you, and the person I was diving with, they had really good control over it, and they're a woman, so they didn't really, their lung capacity was a little bit different. They didn't really chew through their air as long. The first time we went down, she still could have been down there another 10, 15 minutes, and I had to come up. So we have to come up together in a buddy system.
Yeah.
So we worked something out to where whenever I get, I think 1,000 lower than her, or maybe 1,500 lower,
she let you suck off her.
Yeah, she goes to her secondary. I go to her primary, and we kind of just hover together. I hold on to her tank, and we scoot along together. Some bitches. You like some sexy some bitches. We are just that, sir.
Indubitably.
Sexy some bitches.
I'm actually planning on shaving the beard here soon.
Don't, man. Rock it. Let it run.
No shave November. I'll run the no shave thing until November ends.
Yeah, but I mean, just let it. Man, that's your kryptonite, man.
Yeah.
You get rid of that, man, the swells are not going to welcome you back.
The swells won't be right. I won't be the old dude on board.
And by swells, I mean ladies.
That's been crazy lately.
That's what I'm saying, man. The beard works. Anyways, diving, being down there, seeing the fish from up above, and they just scurry about. They're like, oh shit, I'm going to die. And they just scurry out of the way. Whenever you're diving, they don't give a shit about you. You're just swimming along, and a big loggerhead turtle will see you and be like, "What's up, man?" And just kind of keep going. Nothing cares about you down there, and you can just kind of enjoy yourself. Even sharks and stuff really weren't intimidating.
Even as a surfer, dude, sharks never. I mean, they're curious fucking creatures. I've had plenty of sharks bump my board and literally come up right next to me and tilt their eye towards me and just look at me, swim off.
Yeah, man. They don't give a shit.
I don't fucking care.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's just one of those things, I guess, where I don't know. This is their territory. They know they're the best motherfuckers here.
They would get a knife. Pull out that boot knife.
Well, have you seen recently about the person who befriended a tiger shark? For the past 10 years, it's been going to the same spot, feeding this one tiger shark and petting this giant tiger shark.
They pals.
Fuck that.
It's official.
I love surfing and all that, but nah, dog. That's a big no for me.
It's a hard pass.
No. Pitter patter and everything.
All right, chug that one down. Get a little.
On to the next one. On to the next.
Hopefully this next one won't be as heady.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be a danker, as my boy Travis says, but hopefully it won't be too heady.
Danker.
All right.
Shots.
I think we should do the one that you're worried about the most.
Might as well get it out of the way.
Just get it out of the way.
Fuck me, I'm a fuck you.
This one's kind of small. Ooh. Ooh. Hold on, let me change that camera. Oh, y'all seen that? You spill that shit? What is up with this, man?
Did you break the can? Giant
It's just-
arm fan? Sorry, Jake.
R.I.P. Jake.
R.I.P.
Yeah, that's more better.
I wonder how he's liking his travels.
Dude,
I know he needed it.
you come back completely different. Real talk.
Yeah. Especially when you go to a different country in general.
Well, I mean, he went to Japan, so I gotta give him props on that.
And he stopped off in Italy.
I haven't, huh?
Italy, right?
Yeah. I haven't been to Japan since I was a kid.
House of the Rising Sun. I've heard a lot
Actually,
of great stories from
Before
old
I
Navy
drop this
people.
off, before I get ready to this, let me talk about a little bit about what this is. I'm trying to change my camera to the one I want. I guess that'll work. This is Rainbow Serpent, and it is from Orpheus. And I think Jake's a pretty big fan of Orpheus brewing.
Yeah, they went up to the one in Atlanta? Or?
Yeah, it's in Atlanta. This is raspberry, pineapple, lime, and vanilla sour ale. Smells
Power through it.
smells pleasant. Smells like candy.
Oh, God, I'm going to power through this one.
And it's got what looks like a rainbow snake choking this woman.
Kinky and effective.
It is. Alright, put that one back here. If you guys want to catch a gander of that, look at that. It's kind of hard to see actually. It's got the woman getting choked, or maybe she's just wearing a rainbow snake.
It's her friend.
I'm not sure.
Fran.
F-R-A-N. Fran.
Friends.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
fuck it, I'm going to try it. TSA?
Smells nice. Smells pleasant.
Smells fruity.
Yes, it does.
Sounds
smell
like a
fruity.
wine.
It is fruity. It is almost a wine. I'm getting some Skittles, man.
I'm getting a hint of something completely different.
Skittles. This is a Skittles beer.
It's definitely sweet. Not nearly as sour as I thought it would be.
You're just chugging it down, man. He's like, I hate this.
It has a nice aftertaste, though.
Slowly chugging it down.
It really does have a nice aftertaste. See, that's what I like at the end. I don't like the whole in-your-face sour and sweet, but I like the aftertaste of, like, you still get the fermented berry taste.
It's lingering and pleasant.
No. Tastes like some old Captain Crunch.
Old? Like after it's gotten a little stale?
What?
But you ain't got nothing else, so you still eat it?
The struggle.
Everybody's into that. I do like, I might get some cereal right when I leave home. Like right when I leave to go
right
home.
now. Just go in, kick in the door to his dad. Hey, I'm get some cereal.
But then I think I would need almond milk.
Yeah.
I need milk for
Almond
cereal.
milk.
You know, I can just be that kid who just eats raw
Almond milk.
cereal. But I like almond milk.
Yeah.
It mixes well with my coffee.
It makes the
I know I'm
ball.
like a sobro kind of thing, but whatever.
Well, see, I love coffee, but I'm so jacked up every day. If I drink coffee, just fucking get away from me. You're gonna hate me. I'm just gonna be annoying and jacked up.
It can be like those kids that they're not kids, but people who just stay loaded up on
Drugs?
kratom.
Oh God, those poor bastards.
So, yeah, we got a couple that.
Oh, I know we got a couple of them, and I see them do it. I'm just like, how the fuck are you
They
functioning?
get their little pouch out.
And they do like 6 grams. I'm just like,
They get their little spoons out and they dig out their kratom.
it's a drug. It is literally a drug. You
It is a legal drug. You can buy it at gas stations. It's basically, somebody told me it's kind of like,
It's an opioid.
yeah, they say it's like a Coke or like
Coke?
They said
Oh my
Adderall.
God. Really?
Yeah, but without all the bad side effects. You still can get addicted to it, but it doesn't have all those like.
Except, yeah, I guess it's just basically opium. It's an opioid receptor blocker. It literally attaches to your opioid receptors and gets you high as shit. Well, it doesn't get you high, but just numbs the pain and gives you a buzz.
We said we're not doing drugs here. We're not doing drugs.
Actually, when I broke my neck in my car crash, they're like, okay, so we're going to prescribe you the Oxycontin. And, like, you know, I've had a bunch of friends pass away because of it. I'm like, I'm good.
Hard pass, sir.
Yeah, hard pass. I'll take ibuprofen. I'm like, okay, so ibuprofen 800 milligrams.
Like, are you sure? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like in the neck breaks in and they're just like, you sure you don't want this? I'm like, I'm good, dude. I'm good.
Why is it still posting the thing about Halim? I don't know. It says Halim is back. For those who don't know, this is not Halim, though we do love Halim.
Assalamu alaikum.
This is, he's not.
I know
he's not. But no, I thought I updated it through the restream and everything to say that this is Chandler. This is Chandler.
Hi, guys.
It's not Halim.
I'm Chandler.
This is Chandler. It's not Halim. This is a little outdated, as you can tell.
It's got that lag.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sends it how it sends it to us. Like, we're not. This is like a direct stream, but what they're probably seeing is a little closer to. Probably closer to Twitch, right there.
Yeah,
Which
that
is
makes sense. Only a couple seconds behind.
Probably about 10 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds behind.
So on your travels, what was one of the most notable things that you noticed about the people?
I don't know. I guess it depends versus culture to culture, and
Culturally accepting based on them knowing that you are not of their culture.
So if you act like you're Canadian, you'll be treated a lot better. I know some places, especially like in Morocco, if they know you're American, bartering is not part of our culture. At least not around here. You know, you go up to some areas that have, you know, Chinatown and, you know, Little Italy and places like that. You know, there's gonna be bartering, but around here there's no bartering. You go to a place and they're like $10 and you're like, I'll give you $7.50. They'll just tell you to get the hell out. They'll call you stupid and tell you to get the hell out. So
well, that's based on most Islamic states. Is that bartering is a huge part of it. Because
that's you literally go to like Vietnam. You go to most of Asia. It's pretty big everywhere, but maybe here, Canada. I probably could have done it in most places in Europe, especially in like small shops.
Even in like England and.
Probably not. Not
so much.
I wouldn't be able to pop into a Starbucks and they're like $4, and I'm like, I got $2.
That's cool.
What you got? True, but so that bartering is a huge aspect. So if they know you're American, we aren't barterers. Like they don't know that they need to barter. They're like, yes, this is very good. It's a Citra ass down against the Grand Brewery. It's good beer. And then you know I'm not making fun of anybody. This is exactly how they sound. And they're awesome people. I had a great time out there. But they were like, oh, for you, special day, it's birthday of Muhammad V. That's actually, they would tell me every day is the birthday of Muhammad V. That was like a special day in the sales. Every day is Muhammad V's birthday.
Because they know Muhammad is big. And that's probably
the
first thing that Americans
Muhammad V was the guy that kind of like brought back Morocco and made it kind of what it is now. Kind of got it out of some of its stink. But, they'd say like $12, and be like, ooh, you know, Americans might be like, oh yeah, a beer in Morocco, that's the normal price, but you probably could have got this for $3 or like $2. You know, they highball you, and they just want you to, and then you just throw out like a disrespectful low ball. You're like $12, bro, I'll give you 75 cents, and they're like, no, I have 3 children, I have to pay bills, you know, stuff like that, and you're like. And they're like, what about $7.50? And then you just kind of work your way into the middle.
That's what, like, my buddy from Kuwait, Rakan Dashi, shout out if you ever see me. But he told me, he's like, man, you come to Kuwait, I'll show you the way. You know, he always talked about the bartering system there. Like, even when it's just a cup of tea.
Even at taxis, man.
Even taxis, or he'd always say, you know, come sit with me, have tea, we discuss. Really loving people, though. That's why
the mint tea out there. The mint tea was awesome.
He brought some home and actually had like fresh mint from, you know, the regular store. Let us have some, you know, fresh mint in there.
Everything's so cheap compared to here at least, super cheap.
I've always just wanted to go because the people are always so loving and open, and a lot of people, especially in the South, have this misconstrued ideology about the Middle East and the Golden Coast and everything.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure. They were super nice, super smart people, man. These guys spoke like 5-6 languages. Like, I was traveling with this Japanese guy. I'd met him in the hostel, and he was just traveling about by himself solo like me. And we're walking in, you know, we're in Tangier, And these guys are just coming out of the wet works, just like, oh, and they'll start trying to talk to you because they want to be your tour guide or like take you to one of their vendors and get compensated for it or something like that. That any way for them to make money because they don't have a lot of the regular businesses like we do here. Not in the old district where I was at. So
it's all farmer market basically. Well, I guess
it's all just small, like
American ideology of a farmer's market.
it's like kind of cutthroat. You know, these guys have to do what they got to do. Like you're not gonna pop by the Gap or go by Starbucks because none of it exists there. Even the restaurants were like a storage unit where they pull up the grate and there's some old lady with a heating iron like with a small iron just knocking out. You know, the what do they call that? It was in the ceramic. I don't remember. Anyways, I'll remember it like right when the show ends. I'll remember it and be like, fuck. It's basically a pot roast, and they have the bottom of it's pottery. It's like a pottery bowl, like a ceramic bowl, and then it's got
pot pie almost.
And then it's got a lid. No, they just throw all the veggies and stuff in there.
Huh.
And then they have this ceramic lid with like a spout on the top, and they just throw it on the fire, and everything cooks in its juices, and all the gases and stuff go out the top, and then they just tip it off and hand you. Actually, they bring you the whole thing. I ate a shit ton of it. I'm trying to think what it was called. Anyways, yeah. So the bartering was a bit odd. Once you get used to it and you know that it's just like part of the culture, you can get a lot of stuff super cheap. Like I said, Americans, they highball us, but even when they highball us on the price, it's still
negotiable.
No, I'm saying it's still cheap. Like
yeah, $12.
Like this, this I was exaggerating, but like there'd be like $5, like
to us,
$5 American. Yeah, that's a beer, but you actually could buy it from them for $1. You know, so you could pay American price, or you can actually pay a Moroccan price, which is like super super cheap. But this Japanese guy, like I was saying earlier, we're going together. I had met him in the hostel, and we decided we'd do Chef Shawan, which is like called like the Blue Pearl of Morocco. It's a whole town that's just painted blue. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Everything's just like this really light blue.
Bluebird blue.
There's nothing around that's the color blue. It's almost like a turquoise.
Ooh.
Like your ring. Yeah, you got it on.
Yeah, I don't have it on today.
Fuck, man. You always have it on.
I know, man.
So,
probably where I dropped my phone.
Yeah. Bad luck, man. Knock, right. So I'm traveling with this guy, and we're going to the bus station walking, and people are just coming out the wet works, just, you know, and if you act like you don't speak the language or understand them, they'll just keep going and going and going. So eventually this guy worked through like 4 or 5 different languages until he spoke Japanese. And he said he spoke some Japanese to the guy, and the Japanese guy turned around, and then that's when he got you. And then he'll start talking and seeing if you need a tour guide, and they'll charge you for everything. So if you're getting on the bus and the guy that brings you to the bus station, like he's like, hey, what do you need? Oh, I'm going here. Okay. And then he'll walk you from the front of the bus station to the vendor that sells the tickets. He wants a little bit of money from you, and that's part of his job. So you hand him like $1 basically equivalent. And then the guy who puts your luggage into the bus, there's like a pull-out part underneath bus storage area, and he'll ask you for like $1 or so. Sounds like a lot, but
it's really not.
The bus ticket was super cheap.
You gotta think the equivalents. That's why I want to go to Costa Rica so bad, because the exchange between the two currencies is just astronomical.
You live like a king.
I want to go like backpack Costa Rica. I don't want to just like, I want to backpack from maybe like Lima. Actually, that's Peru. Never mind. But backpack, from one major town up the coast.
Lima, Cusco, go to Machu Picchu.
Yeah. Garden of the Gods.
Yeah, see Machu Picchu before they start putting up all the barriers. Because a lot of these big places like Machu Picchu and Angkor Wat, there's just so much foot traffic. Millions of people go through these.
Getting destroyed by the tourists.
Yeah, so they're going to start blocking them off.
Preserving it as like states of...
Like UNESCO kind of like, they're going to protect it. So eventually it'll be to where you actually can't go through. It'll either be large portions of the city blocked off, kind of like Pompeii was. Mm-hmm. Like it was kind of blocked off. You couldn't step in certain areas. Certain areas were cool, but they have like pathways that you have to follow, and everything else is blocked off. Yes. They'll do the same thing with Angkor Wat. And people are just like climbing all over it and tearing it up. So they'll eventually do it. I mean, even the Colosseum. I mean, there's a lot of shit that was blocked off. You go to something like the
underground and everything like that is completely blocked off.
You go
even in the center part.
Yeah, Stonehenge. That's all blocked off.
Yeah.
They don't want you going there and tearing it up. What's funny though is there's actually another hinge that's older than Stonehenge, larger than Stonehenge, that you can literally, it's like in a park. It's huge. It's in a park and you can like sit leaning on it, eating your food.
How old is it? About the same time period?
It's like older than Stonehenge. Like,
What the fuck?
yeah, it's
I guess Stonehenge just got, what is it, the publicity just, I don't know.
this one's bigger. And Stonehenge is so tightly packed. And a lot of that, you know, Stonehenge didn't really.
Is it only about the size of this room, if not?
It's not. Yeah, it's not very big. But like Stonehenge, whenever they found it the first time, like you know, after it had, when they started doing some of the reconstruction, you know, lifting the blocks up. That's what they, you know, that's how we see it now. That's not how it was.
It was all falling over.
Everything was falling over. Yeah.
They put it back together, basically.
To make it look as close to what it looked like originally.
Maybe that's why they knocked it all off. They spent all this money on it. Now they're making more money off of it.
I mean, you gotta preserve that thing, man. People are shithead. Like people are shitty, man. They'll tear it up.
But it's crazy. When I went to Southern Ireland, but this was also 2003, 2004.
Oh shit, you were probably like 16.
No, I was like 8 or 9.
Oh shit, I keep forgetting you're that young.
Yeah, and I was going over to Ireland, and you know, we went over there, and we're trying to go find this state park, and we're just driving. Next thing we see, it was just like, you know, a gas station. We're like, hey, we're looking for the state park. We're like, oh, you just passed it. This is what you've been driving through for the past 2 hours. It's just open land, you know. You just park your car, go
It's beautiful.
walk.
All the like Ireland was great.
Especially Southern Ireland, even Northern Ireland, you know, more republic. But
Like Belfast.
I was talking more of Dublin. We never
No, Dublin's like
right on the line.
no, Dublin's like right in the middle. You got Dublin, and then
I
you
thought
got Galway
Dublin-
on the other side.
Because we
And
flew
then-
into Galway.
Yeah, Galway's like way over here. Dublin's over here. So I'm guessing that's opposite. So if you guys look at the camera, this would be Galway, and this would be Dublin. And you know it's a straight shot almost across, and then you've got Cork, and you've got you know.
Because we flew into Galway, and then we left Galway to go to Fahey Bay, which was south. I might be fucked up about it. I'm so young.
Yeah, and then Belfast is like way up top. I
Okay.
went to Belfast to see the Giant's Causeway. It's where like magma like solidified, you know, millions of years ago to create these like hexagonal, almost like stop signs, pillars all over, and they're all over the place. They're in Brazil. They're in when I was in Oregon. There's a waterfall called Tokati Falls, and it's got these like pillars next to it. It's just the way it's weird the way the magma dries. In a simplistic form, you know when it gets when it's muddy and it gets super dry outside, the ground cracks into these strange. There's like circles and stuff. It's
Almost
like that.
Hexagons are.
Yeah, but these are like beautiful little these like flat sides and stuff on
So
them.
what? Those almost solidified and became columns themselves as
They look, yeah, they're columns. They look like stepways. They call it the Giant's Causeway. There's like a folklore about some like invaders coming in, and a woman takes her husband and puts him in a large baby crib basically, and puts stuff over him to make him look like a baby. And when the invaders come in, you know, they built this giant causeway, these like bricks to go over the ocean. And when they come in, and she's like, "Oh, be careful, you know, my husband's gonna be back." And they're like, "Oh shit, if this large baby is the kid, the husband must be massive." So these guys like run away, and they apparently tear up the causeway on the way out. So there's like small bricks. That's like the legend of how that, a simplified version of what the legend was.
That's awesome. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, dealing with invaders, you gotta kind of make up what you can.
Yeah,
Do
those
away
damn
with-
Vikings, man. Tearing shit up.
Getting rid of shit.
Oh man, I love Viking country too. Like going through Norway, going through the fjords, Denmark.
God.
Those
Is
guys
it just like a different world? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
man.
beautiful nature-wise.
Yeah, unparalleled. Well, it's different. So, like you look at the giant fjords and the waterfalls and the like huge, like the crazy cliffs. Like I did the Trolltung, and that was like a 10-hour hike, 5 hours up, 5 hours down. Beautiful overlooking fjords, like bright blue water. That was crazy. But then when you look at something on the opposite side, like Death Valley, where there's just crazy canyons and dunes and desert, and that's beautiful.
Or
and
like
it's
the
all-
Garden of the Gods up in Colorado.
or like the Grand Canyon, man. Grand Canyon's like overwhelming.
I've never been. I went to Las Vegas and never got to go to the Grand Canyons. I did go see The dam, Hoover Dam.
Yeah, Hoover's crazy too.
That was actually surprisingly magnificent for
You
such
look
a
down.
man-made thing.
Yeah, you look up and it's just. Yeah, that's how the Grand Canyon is, man. Yeah, no worries.
Broke the damn seal.
One thing that's really cool about that's the garage door. If you guys are wondering, let me exit out of this. Thing's popping up on the screen. Snooze. Sorry for the dead air. But one thing that's really cool about Europe and in comparison to the States, is the States, they're so worried about getting sued and they're so worried about like the legal ramifications of everything. In Europe, not so much. So look at a state park, for example. I'm not going to count the Grand Canyon because there's tons of places to fall to your death, and people have. But there's signs everywhere, and there's like fences blocking you off. Most big, nature attraction sites have safeguards to keep people safe. But in Europe, I didn't really see much of that. You go to like the cliffs of Moher in Ireland, and it's just a dead drop. There's a fence to keep the sheep out on one side that somebody owns, but other than that, it's just a dead drop. There's
Are you
no
talking
fence.
about the cliffs where the puffins live?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was talking about just like the difference in, I think I have your chair backwards. Some of the difference in like safety versus America and Europe. So America, like we have fences up, we've got signs, and there's rails, and there's all this kind of crazy stuff. But in Europe, man, it's just a dead drop. They're like, if you're dumb enough to fall, man.
I've been to the cliffs. All they had was this 2 rope chain or ropes, 2 ropes on it, posts, and they're like, okay, after that,
Dude, there was none of that when I went there.
Really?
There was a fence on a far side, and it said, private property, do not cross, or something like that. And there was like, sheep and stuff on the other side. That was a sheep fence. But there was like a spot where you can like kind of crawl, like not crawl through, but you can shimmy through. And that's what they had. And, if you fall to your death, you're an idiot. And if you guys have any family members that fell to their death at cliffs of Moher, I apologize. I'm not calling them an idiot, but it's a giant cliff. If
Don't
you're
get
worried
too
about
close.
it, don't get close to it. Like it's not like a large portion of it is falling off all the time, and people are falling to their death that way.
I remember actually, I was young, but we went to an underground mine that has a waterfall in it, and they gave us just no safety gear. They're like, okay,
Europe?
come on. Ireland.
Oh.
Specifically. And they just gave us no safety gear. Like, okay, have fun, go through. Here's the tour guide. You get lost, because there was one part where there was no light, and the tour guide's like, okay, we're going to turn off all the lights. That's where you understand how dark it is. Turn off all the light. Everybody's like, oh. No safety involved, no fences, no do not crosses. They're like, you follow us, stay on the path.
And you should
It'll
be
be fine.
good.
I think it's the whole babying thing the United States does.
Yeah, and people are worried about getting sued, and if somebody falls to their death and their parents come by and sue and shit like that. There was a cool experience I had in, it was in Hungary. It was in, what was it named? Budapest.
Ooh, yeah.
Budapest. So Budapest has a big history with both the Turkish and with like Vlad the Impaler, and there's tons and tons of crazy history. And I heard about this through, if you guys travel a lot, there's a site called Atlas Obscura, and it just lists a bunch of like not very popular tourist attractions or things to see that might not be on your 10 things to see in Ireland list,
The top rated stuff that everybody needs to go see.
Right, so
Money hungry shit.
I saw, and all the other ones are like, most of them are tourist traps, but you find like smaller stuff that might be super interesting, but nobody really goes to it, or a lot of people don't. People who know about it go to it. But, here, I'm gonna change the camera. Go to this one. So, it was at the very bottom of the castle in Budapest. And, it's been rebuilt over the years. It got tore up and messed up and so on and so forth. But, there's like an underground, like there's not catacombs per se. I think there are people buried down there, but
Underground tunnels.
it's labyrinth, dude. It's huge. And,
So like spelunking tunnels type shit.
they're all created, and you have a whole footpath, but there's no lighting in there at all. There's no lights. There's no like artificial lighting. There's no lamps or anything like that.
Pure darkness.
Yeah, what they do is they give you a kerosene lamp. I showed my student ID, and they're like, cool. I wasn't in school at the time, but I had an old student ID, and they gave you discounts on stuff. So student ID, cool. They hand it back, and I think, you know, it might be like $6 or $7. They hand you like a kerosene lantern. You're by yourself. There's no tour guide. There's nobody else with you. So I'm walking around in this pitch black labyrinth and looking for Vlad the Impaler, supposedly like one of the locations that he like was killed or entombed. I think he was in prison down there, but I don't think he actually died down there. But you can see like a stone that says like, "Here lies Vlad the Impaler." I think that's more a touristy thing. But either way, he was down there, that's for sure. But you know, you're walking around with this like lantern, and you really appreciate how these guys got by with such little lighting. Like after a while, I was like, "Fuck it," and just had my phone out. There's nobody else around. Like this is a site that not really many people go to. So I'm walking through this thing and not seeing anybody, not hearing anybody. Just seeing like little plaques every once in a while, no lighting on them. I just see something shining on the wall and I go to it and there's a plaque and I have to read it with this kerosene lantern. Eventually, when you walk around the corner and you do find somebody, dude, it just scares the fuck out of you. You just come around the corner and there's somebody there and you're just like, ah.
You like throw your kerosene lamp at them?
Yeah, they catch on fire. No. It's frightening, but it was actually a super cool sight. There's lots of that stuff. Like in Prague, you know, there's like a church outside of Prague. And I heard about it from the Atlas Obscura site. And it is, like, all the decoration inside is from bones of people, like humans. And it's all, like, chandeliers of bones and skulls and stuff. And there's, like, big plagues and a lot of deaths. So they were like, hey, let's do something with the bones. Oh, probably should close that.
Yeah, it'll get cold, won't it?
Nah, Jake's worried about his humidity on the wood.
Sorry, Jake.
Sorry, Jake. R.I.P. Jake.
R.I.P. Ready to jump into this next beer?
Yeah. So, that was what do you want to do? We did a sour last time, so we can either go Medlock or we can go this Ass Down IPA.
Either way, it's fair to me.
Let's run Ass Down, man. That's how I like to run.
Face up.
Yeah. And this one's not super heady like the last one was, so we're good.
Pound through that one.
Oh yeah, I forgot to even put water in there to kind of like cleanse the palate, man.
It's gonna be a little sweet. Screw it.
I have a little something to it.
See all you little sediment in there.
Got little floaties?
Definitely little floaties.
Right on, man. This is Louisville, Kentucky. This is Against the Grain Brewery as well. Cool logo. I'll show you guys the can. It says "Ass Down," and it's like down like in as a bird, and it's feathers because it's got like an ostrich on it, and there's a guy with a club, and there's arrows, and I don't really understand it. Citra, ass down, crush this beer. It says Citra, ass down. You get it?
Citra, ass down.
Citra, ass down, and crush this beer. This beer is not candy or mother's milk.
Just had candy.
It is not brewed by gypsies or aliens, nor does it contain any zombie dirt.
Damn it.
This is a double IPA brewed with Citra hops. It is sticky, hoppy, and delicious.
I would
Simply drink it and enjoy it. Don't hoard this beer. Sit your ass down and drink it now.
Looks like we know
I
what
dig
you
it,
do.
man. You guys did a good job. 8.2 ABV. This is a full pint. 48 degrees from the can. Drink 48 degrees from the can.
I don't think we're at 48, but
We
we're
might
close.
be, man. We
We're
might
pretty
be.
close.
But yeah, there's tons. So like I said earlier, if you guys are planning on doing some traveling, even traveling in the States, check out Atlas Obscura. Atlas Obscura.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you know, let's say you're going to Savannah and you type in Atlas Obscura Savannah.
There's so
It'll
much
pull
cool
up
shit
like,
outside of there.
and this is stuff that's like off the grid, like not off the grid, but it's stuff that most people don't know about.
Not your drinking typical drunken bar rides.
Yeah, this isn't a bus ride dropping you by all the like premier touristy locations. These are things that a lot of people don't know about. Like in Rome, you know, so much shit to see in Rome, and obviously you're gonna do the Colosseum and you're gonna do the Pantheon and stuff like that. But there's a church that has like 3 different religions on different layers, because you know Rome is like built on just
Roman Catholic originally.
They build it and build it and build it and build it. So it has Mithril language, or Mithril, at the very bottom.
Which is like the first.
It's like really
right
old.
before Rome?
Yeah, it was like really old, and there really wasn't a lot of followers. So it's got like remnants of
Pagan
this.
era.
Yeah, so it's got remnants of this, and then above that, I think is
Roman Catholic, maybe.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but it's got 3 different layers, and they're all different religions. And the
Or
church,
the ideology of Church
it's
of
cool that
Rome.
the church didn't want to like get rid of those or cover them up. You know,
Yeah.
like it because they
Especially
go
coming from Rome, which
they
is
go
the head-
against their actual religion.
Yeah. The
I'm
head
gonna
of
set
the
this can up so you guys can see it. Sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down. Put your face up.
Sit your ass down, bruh.
Drink it. I've just always wanted to travel more. That's why I finally broke up with my girlfriend. Went on to go fucking do my travels. Like even this Texas trip, it's just on the whim. I was like, I need to get out of fucking Georgia. Gotta go do a week and a half. Go backpack a little bit.
Yeah, there'll be a lot to see, man. Where are you going to in Texas?
I'm going to Austin. I'm flying into Austin. And
So that's the fly-in point. You're not staying in Austin, right?
well, I'm gonna stay in Austin for a couple days. And
That's
just,
nice.
Oh yeah,
The smell is nice. I haven't gotten to the taste yet.
This is
If you
more
guys want
like-
to check that can out, you can't see all of it, you know, because I have this thing
more
set
minor.
for like smaller. I have this camera set for a little bit smaller beer, you know, normal size cans, not pints.
It's a good beer. This
Yeah.
is, like I said, more of what I would like to drink.
Has this one so far out of the? This is the 3rd beer we've been on. Is this one so far?
This is it's my winner.
This
so
is top pick.
Top pick. But yeah, like I'm flying into Austin. I'm gonna spend a couple days with my family, and then from there we're either going to the Gulf Coast or we're going to try and hit the West Coast somehow and do a little camping, backpacking. Because his kids are, it's my cousin. His kids are Eagle Scouts or whatever they call them, and you know.
They probably would like the guy we had on the show last, not Halim, which they probably would like Halim too, but Ranger Ben or Ben Kirkland, who's the primitive skills guy.
Really?
Yeah. So they probably would have liked him because I mean he can make a fire out of anything. He knows all the different ways to make fires. He can go out to the woods, make a bow and arrow, kill a deer, and use everything from it
That's awesome.
to kill another deer.
I stop at like fires and traps. I can't make a bow.
Dude, the last
do
trip
it.
that I went on with Jake, we went camping, and Olivia was there, and Diane was there.
Was
and
that
me
in
and Jake.
Tennessee?
Yeah, we went to Mammoth Caves, and we went to we had a bunch of different locations. And Jake, we were driving through this fog, and you know you could see like 3 feet in front of the car. So I had my head out the window, and I'm like driving super slow down this dirt road to try to find a good camping spot. It's pouring rain. It's super misty, and we find a good camping spot. I'm the only one, I guess, that knows how to put tents up. So I put up my tent and Jake's tent, and the girls stay in one, and me and Jake stay in the other. But we started trying to work on a fire, and it was sprinkling at that point, and Jake got so pissed trying to build this fire, and you know I haven't really seen Jake very pissed.
No.
He was pretty upset, and I'm like, bro, chill, bro, just chill out, bro. It'll be okay. We'll work it out. And I hate keep using the word bro because, like, bruh. But I was like, Jake, just chill. We'll get it. Don't worry. And I used this. I kind of cheated because it was raining, and I had this like accelerant that you literally could this glass is here. I literally could put it on top of the liquid here and light that on fire, and it would stay on
It's
fire.
like an oil-based accelerant.
It looks like gravel almost, but it floats.
Huh.
And it'll just light on fire and just stay lit for a while. So we made this fire, and it started pouring like crazy, and we both ducked into our tents, and we stayed there for a long time. And I think the fire stayed up for like 4 or 5 hours in the rain.
Holy shit.
It's crazy, yeah. Needless to say, I bought like a bunch more of that stuff.
Yeah,
I keep it in the car just in case. So if you see my car explode one day,
You know what it is?
that might be it.
I literally keep a sleeping bag, a tent, tarps.
I have all that in my car.
Yeah.
I
Water.
keep it all the time.
Extra water.
I don't keep water.
I do.
The reason why is because like when the heat gets into the car and the plastic,
The
you know,
plastic takes the gasoline from the plastic itself and puts
makes
it into
it
the water.
makes it toxic,
Yeah.
toxic water.
I still do it. Emergencies, man.
Now, if you were to get a bunch of like
Metal
glass
base or
bottles,
aluminum?
glass bottles,
I guess aluminum would so too as well.
I probably wouldn't want to do aluminum. There's like small amounts of like particles and stuff that kind of get in there. I probably won't want to do aluminum. Like you can
Aluminum will
buy.
kill you when it gets hot.
Really?
Yeah.
You can buy these glass jugs. They're not expensive. Or you can just, buy like 5 or 6 mason jars, fill them up with water, throw them in your car, and you'll be good.
I should probably do that, yeah. Instead of these water bottles.
Yeah, those things, man, they've been heated and then cooled and heated then cooled, and all those toxins are getting in your water.
Oh, yeah.
You guys would probably get sick if you drink them.
Over a period of time, especially if you're fucking thirsty and you have nothing else.
Chugging it down, man.
Chugging it
I usually keep all kinds of crazy stuff. I have an axe in my car.
Yeah.
I've got a bludgeoning device just in case you got to bludgeon something. Yeah, I've got a tent and a hammock and a sleeping bag, a blanket, a spare set of clothes and shoes. I've got all that stuff to start fires. I've got a hatchet, not a hatchet. I've got a machete.
It's
and
like
an
your
axe.
bug out.
Yeah, it's a bug out in my trunk. So if a cop ever pulls it up, like opens my trunk, and he's just like
There's like ties and fucking rope and
tarp and
and all types of bludgeoning tools
Yeah.
and hatchets.
like maybe I spray painted and there's like splatters of paint, but it looks like blood. I
Sir,
I swear.
Step out of the car,
I swear, sir, I was painting, man.
I was getting paid, dude. It's
I
all
was painting. I'm artistic, bro. That's all paint. You see like a Halloween, those plastic legs, like up in the
No, we're setting up Halloween decorations. Sir, it's November. It's November.
Hands up! Hands up! By the time they dig through it and they find no blood, you're just like,
You're sitting in the back like, well, I'm going to jail for nothing. This today.
I'm gonna be late for work.
I'm going to be late for work. Then you try and call your work like, hey guys.
I'm getting pitted.
I'm getting pitted by the
I'm getting
cops.
pitted. I'm gonna update this a bit.
Yeah.
You liking this beer, man?
I do indubitably. I'm not like forcing myself through it. Indubitably. Well, that's fun.
Not really getting many comments. Oh, it went through. Drugs are bad, okay? Zach McBrayer. Drugs are bad, okay? J-Dub. Asa, dudes.
Solid.
Asa, dudes.
Solid.
Asa, dudes. I don't know why it's not going through on here, but I'm seeing it in the chat. Suspicious. Drugs are bad. Okay. That's suspicious. I'm gonna modify. Let's shrink this down a bit.
Ooh. Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. It's the first time. Having a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. I tried to get you on last week, but things do happen.
Got a little too drunk.
He was elsewhere drinking, got a little too drunk.
A little too fucking lit.
He got well lit.
Yeah. That's why this weekend I was gonna control myself. Or week. Monday, I forget what day it is.
I saw.
Damn dashboards.
But yeah, dead body. I mean,
big dicks.
yeah, no, we were camping with Jake, and it ended up getting so cold that Jake and I think Olivia and Diane all like snuck off to Jake's SUV, and they all slept in it. So I wake up at the night, and then in the morning, like super cold, all alone. There's water that got into the tent. Not sure how it got in the tent.
Because they opened the door, probably left it open.
That probably condensation as well. It's warm in the tent, and then it's cold on the outside, so condensation leaks inside. So that's probably the case. But yeah, it was an experience. I think Diane ended up getting sick, and what's funny though is that it was Olivia and Diane's first time camping. So I don't think they'll ever go camping again, sadly.
No, I love camping though, man.
This is perfect weather for it, man.
That's why I say Texas. I hope it's close to the same temperature. It's probably gonna be a lot colder, but yeah, it's not gonna be. I hope.
One can hope.
Yeah, we're still debating on whether we're hitting the Gulf Coast or the West Coast. Because Austin, he's like, whatever, man. You got a week and a half. My cousins.
Do whatever you want, bro. We got pitted.
Come on, man.
Do that shit, bro.
Yeah, fucking hang out. Drink a bunch of beer and whiskey.
Only thing, so after I've traveled a good bit, like let's say I'm doing a long stint, and I'm in like 2 months into it, at that point, I want to just chill. Like, when I get to a new town, yes, I do want to see the town. I'll probably spend the first day checking out the town, but after that, I want to chill, man.
Decompress
I want
a
to see
little
the
bit.
people in the hostel, hang out, eat some food at a restaurant, and like lay low key.
Well, my whole thing about travels is like, I've never wanted to go do the tourist thing. I want to do what the locals are doing. I want to see a part of the region that I've never seen, whether it's the United States, out of country. Hell, my first time, besides Ireland, or the second time I went out of the country was Tijuana, Mexico. Did a lot of local stuff.
I usually, so as far if I'm trying to find a restaurant, I figured out just go where the old people go.
Yeah.
So I think about my own grandma, and I'm like, my grandma's not wanting to go to San Joe's. I'm going to be real with you.
Yeah.
My grandma's not going to House of China.
No.
She's not. My grandma's going to Cracker Barrel. My grandma's going to stuff that she knows, stuff that she's comfortable with. So it's stuff that she grew up with. So I did the same when I traveled. If I wanted to find like good local cultural food, I would check with the hostel because they're super informative, and they'll be like, yeah, check this place out, it's great. But if I want to kind of go to some place that's off the beaten path, I'll just look where the old people are at. So I'll look into a restaurant and be like, bunch of old people, run it. And it's been an awesome experience.
What my friend did was he went to Costa Rica a couple times, and the first couple times he was just partying, and then one of the last times he went for a long period of time, like 3 months. And when he went there, ran out of money. Next thing you know, he was working at resorts. And then he got in good with all the locals because he was working with them.
Yeah, he knew all the good spots.
Because apparently, being an American, being able to speak English, resorts want you.
Yeah, I can
What do you
imagine.
think?
Yeah, you'd be the guy that kind of deals, like whenever there's a difficult customer or they have somebody high up and they don't want to have to deal with any kind of languages. And they're like, sir, I don't want to deal with your language.
I want an American.
Give me an American or give me an English, an Australian or a Kiwi. But I will not deal with your Hispanic language. So, this
Be
guy.
gone, sir.
What's up, dude? What's up, dude? You new here?
My name's Steven. I'm here to get paid and give you some
Fuck
language
yeah, bro.
lessons, bro.
Bro, I'll take you anywhere you want to go, bro. So, this face that I do,
Yeah.
I catch myself doing it all the time. If you guys have ever seen the movie Orgasmo,
Oh my God, yeah.
it's the same guys who did South Park and
Old.
what they
Shit,
do,
movie.
Orgasmo, they did South Park, they did basketball, they did Team America.
Wait, they did basketball?
Basketball, yeah, because they acted in it. They actually acted in basketball.
Oh.
But there's a guy in there, and he's one of the creators of South Park, and he's got like a mullet, and he's one of the cameramen. And he always comes up after a shoot, and he's got this like kind of butt mouth, like kind of like
Can't do
a
it with my
like
face.
Garth or something from
Wayne's
Wayne's
World.
World. So he does like a little butt mouth, and he says, he like pushes his mullet aside, and he's like, dude, I don't sound like a, and this is kind of like politically incorrect, so, I'm sorry, I'm quoting, but he's like, dude, I don't want to sound like a queer or nothing, but, you got a sweet ass.
Yeah.
He,
Definitely heard that.
he does that, he goes, I don't sound like queer or nothing, but, Pesh Mode's a sweet band. And that's, he'll just pop in and say something for like half a second, and then he'll go off, and you don't see him again. Or you'll see him in the background like during like a sex scene. And if you guys haven't seen Orgasmo, watch Orgasmo. It's stupid, it's funny. I don't think there's actually any nudity in it, honestly. I don't think there's any nudity in it.
It's just a joke.
It's a joke movie. It's about a Mormon guy who wants to raise money for his
porn star,
for his wedding. So he gets in good with his porn stars. You about to pee again?
Yeah, dude.
Jesus.
I broke the
Christ,
seal.
So he wants to raise money for his wedding.
Honestly.
He wants to raise money for his wedding, so he is the main character in this porno of a guy named Orgasmo who has like an orgasmo ray on his arm, and he can make people have orgasms by shooting them with his beam. But he actually doesn't have sex with anybody. So they bring in like stunt people to have sex because he wears like a mask of a superhero. And eventually his friend ends up making an actual orgasmo ray, an actual beam, and he fights crime and takes out the porn industry. But one of the characters is the cameraman, and he's got a mullet, and he's always like, he'll have like a Def Leppard shirt on or something, and he'll be like, "Dude, that's hot, bro," and he's always like butt mouthing it, but looking down. Push the mullet aside. Yeah. Anyways, I'm boring the fuck out of you guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, travel.
I just did one.
Yeah, he traveled outside to take a leak in the grass.
Dude, you're like 3 times the size of me, okay? I got a tiny person bladder.
Tiny person bladder. He probably smoked a cigarette for he like took 2 hits off of it, hot boxed it, put it out, put it in his nostril.
I also talked to Jake's dad. Dad's doing good, Jake.
Oh yeah, Jake, your dad's been awesome. If you guys notice, if you keep up with the show and you come on pretty often, you notice that we kind of keep the same location. We've had other venues offer us, to use their location, but they close at crazy times, and I want to stay consistent. I think consistency is the key. So I want to stay consistent. So I want to go on at 10 o'clock, and most of these places are already closed by 10 o'clock, but they'd be beautiful. The cool thing about Jake doing his live stream soon, and I'm really going to try to pound that into Jake to even if I've got to actually set up the camera to have him do it, I want him to start doing it for Tradeskills.
I mean, it's a beautiful art.
Yeah,
to
just
actually
have him
build a guitar out of a piece of wood.
Dude, he literally could just set his camera on a tripod back here, and he could do work here and then do work over there.
And record it, snip it, fast forward, put music behind it that you can have it.
He didn't even have to have music, man. Like, he literally can just, work on it. He'll have the camera set up right here. He can run it right off his phone.
Doing like live streams almost?
Live stream, straight through Twitch.
Yes.
Live stream it, and then it'll have him working on the bench or working on the saw, working over here on the table, and then he'll pop by every once in a while, and somebody will have a question for him, and he can answer questions, and then go back to work. And it works for all of us, actually.
Well, I guess you're talking about skills. Should I talk about climbing trees? That's technically a skill.
Do you have a skill of climbing trees?
Yeah. Climbed trees for about 4 years.
Like doing what?
Okay, so one of the most intense jobs I ever had to do was I took out about a 70-foot oak tree, and it's splayed out. So half of it went off towards the yard, and the other half went over the house. So you had a good 20, 40 feet of oak tree that's anywhere from this big to this big over the house.
It's that big.
Big old dudes.
big old trees.
But I mean, you're talking about like thousands of pounds over someone's house. So what we do is we set up a line on the main lead that we're taking off and zip line it. So we tighten up the rope, put it off into the corner of the yard or whichever way, and zip line it over the house off to the side.
Okay.
And it's a lot of physics.
I thought you were like getting with these like boots with the claws on them, and you kind of just line. You do the little thing up the side of the tree, like Mulan, hitting it up the side.
That's what most people do. Personally, I'm new age. I'm not an old school climber. Most old school climbers, they'll spike it and they'll use that little rope around it and get all the way to the top. I'll set a line to the top, and then from there, I'll have my line coming to me, and I'll just walk up the tree with this spikes. Just walk up, like no rope around me. I'll walk all the way to the top of the tree and go from there. I mean, it's awesome.
I had a funny tree story. I climbed a tree, but it was during excuse me. Anybody local to the area, they know the storms we've had here within the last couple of years. It wasn't the first big storm. It was the second storm. And I'm in the avenues. I live in the avenues, so we get a lot of that. It beats the shit out of the avenues. The big oak trees.
Plus all that open area right there.
Yeah, dude, they all fall. So there was one big tree, and so my house is here. Make sure they can see me. Okay, it's on this camera, so talk to that camera. My house is here. Fence is here, and the other person's house is here. I parked my car here. I've got gap insurance, and I want a new car. I'm past that point now. So I was wanting the tree to fall on my car. Gap insurance. I get a new car. Cool.
Call me over.
So the tree has 4 options. It can hit the house. Bad option. It can go this way, hit their house. Bad option. This way, hit my car. Ideal option. Or this way, and it just takes out a fence. obviously it goes this way and takes
Takes
out
out
the
the
fence.
fence.
Yeah. So the storm's happening, and since I've already been through the one storm, I knew that my power was going to be out for a while. So I had all this crazy beer from the Chalk Fest from that year. I probably had 20 cans plus of just funky beer. I'm talking about the Miller Lite, Bud Light. I'm talking about like IPAs, double
Big
IPAs.
boy beer.
Big boy beers. They tear you up. And I'm like, I'm not going to let these go to waste. So I'm out in the middle of the lime sink. The lime sink is a huge hole. It's a big park, and there's trees, maybe 200 feet in each direction. It's a big roundabout. And I'm in the middle of the lime sink because I feel like it's the safest place, There's no tree that's in distance that can actually hit me if it fell down. So I'm in the lime sink. Water's up to my stomach. Make sure you can see that. Water's up to my stomach, and I'm just there chugging beer, just drinking beer. And I'm on Facebook, and I'm like, I'm drinking in the parking lot. If you guys are in the lime sink, if you guys want to join me, I got lots of beer. Nobody joined me. That's fucked up. Nobody joined me during this storm. I know you're worried about your life and all, but put that aside. Come out to the lime sink and drink with me. And I get completely shit-faced in the lime sink. I've got this light, this lantern kind of thing, and you put it in water and it blinks. So I told them, like, hey guys, if you see the lantern not blinking anymore, worry about me. If you still see it blinking, because you can see it from my house, I was like, if you still see it blinking, I'm good. And I'm just out there just chugging these crazy beers. They're all local beer, because that's the Chalk Fest is all within, 100-mile radius,
Making
local
it
beer.
back.
Tennessee, Alabama, North Florida, North Carolina. But I'm chugging all this beer, and I worked through all of it, and I've come back to the house after the storm's done. It's still pitch black outside. The tree that fallen in the direction I did not want it to fall, it was in the 25% that was not ideal. It wasn't the best option, but it was the second best option. I'm laying on this tree, and it's like this. It's caught into another oak.
Oh, fuck
It's a
yeah.
huge long tree, and I've climbed up it, and I'm laying on it with a beer, just drinking. I feel like I'm like Homer or something, just really drunk. And then my cat, God rest his soul, he's a sweet man, but he's gone. Climbed all the way up the tree, and during the storm, he's like laying on me. And it's the aftermath of the storm, so the wind's still high, but it's not crazy.
Rain.
It's not crazy. It's still raining, but it's not crazy. The big damage is done, and he's laying on me, on my chest, this cat, and I'm just petting him. Just pissed drunk, drinking a beer, petting a cat, from like 30 feet off the ground. It's good times. Nobody joined me in the middle of the lime sink, and I'm still upset about that.
Wait, was this Matthew or before?
You told that last time. I might have told that
Well,
last time.
you
Maybe
guys
not to
are-
that extent.
You guys are so shitty, it needed a second chance.
Yeah, well, there are people on here who have never been on here before, and
That's
they're,
true.
and if you are new, give us a follow, give us a subscribe if you got it. I don't think actually they can subscribe because I'm not even at that level yet, but a follow would be dope. But yeah, that happened.
Do you remember, not Michael, but Matthew, the one before that? That was big?
Yeah, I was not in the lime sink.
So that was Matthew?
No, that was not. It wasn't. It was the last big storm we had.
Okay, so Michael. Matthew, the one before it that hit the east coast of Florida, that's the one that I'm on the news. They evacuated the island I lived on.
So pitted.
No, it's funny as shit because JoJo been my best friend all my life. Like my
His
mom.
name Jordan.
No, his name is William Joseph Rawls.
Oh, most people have the nickname Jordan, or Jordan have the nickname JoJo. Continue.
But
JoJo.
so he's been my rubber ducky. Huge, big old black dude. Been my brother. My mom took him in when his mom. Long story. Anyway, we're brothers. I was going out to check the waves, and we go to the spot that I used to go check my waves at. There's a news crew. I'm like, okay, whatever. So grab my board, go out surfing the waves. I'm like, okay, this is W4N News from Jacksonville. As you can see, everybody's evacuated on, except for these gentlemen who are going to go check the waves and go surfing. And then there's my friend Arthur, who's in the picture, just like,
He's like, we're about to get pitted, bro.
doesn't surf at all, doesn't skate. He's just like, ugh. And there's me and JoJo just walking down the beach, about to get fucking the rubber ducky on.
That's awesome, man. I need to do some surfing.
It's great. I mean, I had great swells that day. Right before Matthew came through, we got sandbags, all that stuff. Bought a whole bunch of liquor. Got my generator going.
So there was the first big storm, and I think in my area, I think I might have been out for 9 to 12 days, something like that. Super cold.
Mm-hmm.
The second storm, I was gone. I was actually out scuba diving, getting certified. So when I came back, I saw whatever town a tornado or whatever had tore through, mess up a lot of gas stations.
Irma might have been
Mess up a lot of people. And then the following year, I was actually there for that storm, and that was crazy. And
that was Michael, yeah.
And I expect this year, or this coming up year, we'll have another one. If 3 times, it's going to happen again.
I mean, guys, if you're from this area,
You already know.
I mean, I'm used to it. If you guys want to come hang out and be okay, I'm grabbing my generator.
Thank you, sir. Oh, it all fell out.
He picked.
So this time, I will be in the lime sink.
Well, I'll walk to their house now.
I think something kind of got out of whack there.
Broken phone, broken jewel.
Yeah, man, I fucked it up. Anyways, this time I will be in the lime sink drinking this next storm. So if you guys want to join me, I'll be out there. I will make sure I buy beer. If I know the storm's coming, I'll buy beer and I'll make sure I'm out there so you guys can come out there and drink with me.
How far of a walk is it from Point North to your house?
From Point North, I
Miles?
don't know.
10 miles?
But in the lime sink, you can park the car at my house and we'll go drink in the lime sink.
I do drive a truck.
We'll bring some floats. We'll have the floats set up, kind of like you're out at the pool. We'll be lounging. We'll have the beer there. I might even set up a cooler. It's gonna float, so we'll have our beer good, and we're gonna make the most out of the situation.
Because I'm telling you, from Florida, we always hunker down for our hurricanes. For the most part, a lot of people are scared. But for the most part, hurricanes won't destroy you if you're a couple feet above sea level.
Well, I was nice and out of the area, so I
This
was
is also
good.
Georgia.
That is fair.
Florida, the only thing that people need to worry about is the below sea level part. It's a hard fact.
Ooh, I think I might have poured too much for me.
Fine.
Oh yeah, I done goofed.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
sir.
Sorry. You just have to
I'm
also
a-
get more though.
You guys see this? I'm a real piece of shit. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm
Grab
sorry.
it.
I was used to the tall boy cans,
The Geek Joe.
This is Medlock IPA, guys.
I know, it's an
Medlock
IPA too.
India Pale Ale, Six Bridges Brewing out of John Creek, Georgia. Good
Wait,
old
John's
Jo-
Creek up in
Good old
North
Johns
Atlanta?
Creek, Georgia. Yep. And it's got a nice picture of a guy with a bunch of hops in his
Probably a lot
hands.
of rich people.
I like simplistic logos. Pretoria has a real simplistic logo. Like I do like those cool ones, like the ones earlier. Blood Show, stuff like this. Looks nice. Stands out, But a nice simplistic logo. Even one like your Sholey, wherever it went. Really simplistic. The one from Pretoria.
Yeah,
Just
right.
has a B on it. Says Sholey. Gets the job done. If you guys don't know on as well, do you know Pretoria's starting a radio station?
I did not know that. I know, didn't their brewer recipe come from California?
One of their brewers did come from Russian River in California.
Yeah.
And they had the
A wine company or something like that?
no, they had a brewery. They had the
Okay.
Russian River Brewery. They had pretty famous beer come out of there. But no, they're having a Queen Bee Radio. I think it should be starting up sometime in December. Don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure sometime in either December or early 2020. They're going to have the radio station. I'm excited to see what they do, and I'm definitely going to want to be involved in that. What do you think?
I love it. I love IPAs.
What about in comparison to the other?
So, the Blood Show, not nearly as good. That last one took first place, and this thing is second so far.
Okay. So we know the sour is definitely not your jam. It's the sour that we had on there earlier.
I came into this knowing sour's on my jam. I mean, I do love the pomegranate from Three Taverns. It's a great brew. I can only deal with so much of it. I like it. It's just not my palate. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
I love it though. It's a great beer as a sour. Great beer, and even the Blood Show, which is a lager with blood orange. Great beer. It's just too mellow.
So I guess we'll get to the ratings when we get down to the very end of this. Sometimes people like Halim. He placed his ratings before, and we usually do it out of a 1 out of 5. A 0 would be something that you literally you take a sip out of,
Throw it away.
and then you just spit it right back.
I
into
first
the
off
glass.
don't think any of these will have a 0. These are all great beers. It's just
I mean, I'm
from my
gonna give
personal
you. I'm
palate.
gonna give you over a 0 if you're just making beer. Period. It's a
Yeah.
beer. You're already getting above a 0.
I was gonna say the least I would do is a 1, but even on this board, I haven't hit a 1 yet.
Halim keep everything around a 1 or 2.
Really?
Yeah, that's just how he rates things.
I mean, even this Serpent, which I was scared would not be my favorite, is still a 3. Like a
3?
2.5.
For me, a 3 is middle ground. It's
Yeah.
something that you might or might not. You'll still pick it over an ultra. You'll still
Oh,
pick
God,
it over a Miller Lite. But
Yeah.
if you have an IPA right there, you might pick the IPA first.
It's just palate preference. It's not.
I do.
Yeah.
I do like sours, and I like IPAs as well. I'm not much on the super hop forward IPAs,
Yeah.
ones that are just bam,
So even
hops.
like when Sholey kegs first came out from Victoria, those things were nothing but hops.
It was just super hop forward.
Oh my god.
Brewed and canned in Six Bridges Brewing, Johns Creek, Georgia.
Yeah.
Medlock IPA.
Northeast Atlanta or Northwest?
Let me
Atlanta?
set this up so you guys can see it.
It's a good beer. It really is.
Solid brew, bro.
Solid brew's getting pitted. You know what I mean? You gotta say it with your jaw going side to side, so that's what you really know it's pitted!
But you look like a fucking cokehead.
Come on, man, look at that. Is it snowing?
You look like a
Is
cokehead.
it snowing? Hey, dude, you ever done coke? You want to?
Dude, actually, when I had dreads, people always asked me if I had drugs.
I know.
Which actually, it's a safe assumption. If you're a white guy with dreads, if you don't do drugs, you know where to find it.
95% of the time, it really is.
I was at 5% that did not. I was like, bro, I've never seen coke in my life.
That's respectable. It really is.
I always just like beer instead. Maybe I'm that weird guy. You're tearing that beer up, man.
Well, it's because you gave me like half of it.
That's true. That is true. I'll try to get caught up.
You gave me a quarter instead of half. Share.
Well, we got more beer, man.
That's true.
We're gonna
I'm-
finish.
I'm ready
We're
for
gonna
this
finish with this mead.
I know this mead has been like taunting me.
This thing is gonna be tough.
I think it's gonna
Well,
be.
it's 6.5. So the last mead I had was like a 16%. So
A
and that's one that
caramel
Austin made. When Austin's been on the show before. If you guys
yeah. Also,
tone back a little bit, Austin does really good photography as well. He does more of I'm not gonna call it kink or risque photography,
no,
but
he
he
also
does
does
dabble.
great family photos. He really does. And then child mother photos. He does an amazing job. I've seen a couple of his portfolios based on it.
If you're into it, he can take a photo of it.
Especially like just you and your kid, mother, son, or daughter. I saw a couple that he just knocked out of the park. That was like, that's some professional shit. Like seriously, he does some good shit.
Yeah, he just did some photos with Christina and Shelly Musgrove. Yeah, he just did some
I think it's some of those.
some I don't know what you would call them. Sultry kind of
Burlesque.
suggestion, kind of like
I guess it could be burlesque.
wasn't quite burlesque. They're scantily dressed and they're doing things that are slightly homoerotic. But I dig it. It was nice photography. I'm not really great at portraits. It's something I need to work on, and he does a swell job. Pun intended.
I think it's just based on energy. You build off the person that you're photographing and try and get them into a relaxed mood so they don't feel so.
Yeah, you want them to feel
locked
it.
up.
You want them to make love to the camera
And that's the whole point of it.
or to the person that's
I mean-
also in the.
Just meeting Austin, he's full of love.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Travis? Travis is one of the other brewers. He used to have a really long beard. I'm gonna change this so you guys can see it. He had a really long beard. He recently cut it off. He's all clean shaven now. Him and Colin, which I've tried to get Colin on the show a couple times, and he's just been busy. I mean,
He's
you were
also
busy
doing-
last time.
Yeah, well, I was drunk last time.
You were busy. It's okay. It happens, man. I wanted to have you and Halim here, and I think the personalities would have
We're
been great.
Built off each other.
Yeah,
big
man.
Blast.
We've had a fun time. Halim's a cool guy.
I like him. Actually, surprisingly, I met him right before that podcast, and I was like, wait.
You met him at their there's some kind of benefit or show, right?
No, they came in right after that, like, hey, we know Lisa donated a bunch of pizzas and stuff like that because Lisa did
Yeah.
donate for the kids a bunch of pizzas, and he came in tried to give thanks to Lisa, but Lisa wasn't there. Yaze.
Blase. It happens.
No, you still carrying on.
We're gonna go to that.
I'm
Bug
excited,
Buzz.
dude.
I don't know
I
what
wanna
it's
do
supposed to
it
be
last.
served at. Enjoy ice cold in a chalice. Well, we don't have that option right
We
now.
have the chalice.
This is a cool 60 degrees. It'll
No, it's not like 50 outside.
No, I feel that. Get in
Yeah,
there.
that's-
No, you're on the beer, man. Get in there.
Yeah, it's definitely a 60.
And make it work. Oh, he's chugging it down. Okay.
I do need some water to get the a little bit extra out.
Well, yeah,
I think
because we're
it's
going
too
to a completely different beer.
Okay, I'll just give.
We're going to a sour now.
I do love the Prometheus from Three Taverns. I love pomegranate beers. That's probably one of the few sours.
Prometheus. I thought this was Prometheus, but this is
Prometheus.
Prometheus. I'm guessing because it's a pomegranate and blueberry sour ale. Yeah, so one thing I do like about Three Taverns is they make really good art. All their whole sour line, like I don't remember the Night in Brussels being like a really crazy logo, but the Lord Grey, the Enchantress, the Rapturous, and the Prometheus, as you guys can see
I think it's
here,
mainly like the hardcore sours that they produce that they just.
they go all
all
out
out.
in my hands, man. You got pomegranates, you got raspberries here. I think that's about it, actually. Oh, blueberries. I'm a dumbass. That's a blueberry, even though it's kind of like a different color. Yeah, those are blueberries. They're not blue, but
They're
whatever.
berries that should be blue.
They are berries.
You know, a great brewery that I undermined. Well, just come from Jacksonville. Veterans. Veterans Brewery.
Give me some of their beer, man. I'll have it on.
Veterans IPA. Actually, Veterans makes one of the few stouts that is like 12, 13% that I actually enjoy. It was a light. It wasn't thick. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a dark thick. It's still kind of light.
Try to get some of this.
Oh, that's
It's close.
close.
It's close.
You made up for last time.
It's close. We'll get it. It's getting there.
But they do make a stout that I fell in love with. I mean, Veterans Brewery. Shout out. Hashtag.
I don't have a beard anymore. I just have Scruff McGruff, so
The only
I
reason I
couldn't
have
do that.
mine is because it's No Shave November, and I was just kind of lazy beforehand. And it turned out to this magnificent man-child.
well, anytime I grow my beard out, so my beard is really curly, and then I have gray coming in right here. So
It's the
It
sex
looks-
appeal of like
well-
the manliness of like, hard years.
I either look like Daddy or I look like Ahmed.
Well, first off, there's a lot of daddy issues out there.
No, I mean
So-
that works for me. I either get Daddy or I get Ahmed. So it's always a toss up between Daddy and Ahmed. When my beard was longer.
Your skin does look Middle Eastern.
That's that Sicilian. Well, actually, what's funny though is when I was in Morocco, I'll go to this camera. When I was in Morocco, I met some Germans in the hostel, and I was traveling with them, and there's this guy, Moroccan guy, following us around, and he was like, he's trying to be their tour guide, and they're like, guy, look, we don't want that. We know where we're going. We know, we have GPS. Boom, we're good. He still follow him around, and then at the very end of it, he wants money from him. They're like, bro, we're not giving you money. We didn't want you to begin with. And he was like, I was traveling with them, so he was like, buddy, tell them you are Moroccan. Tell them to pay me. And I'm like, I'm not Moroccan. They're like, yes, you are. You're Moroccan. Tell them.
No, don't lie to me.
He was like, yes, you're Moroccan. Tell him to pay me. And I was like, I'm not Moroccan. Tell him to pay me. You are Moroccan. Tell him to pay me. Pay me $5, €5. And they're like, bro, we're not paying you. He's like,
It's like
fuck.
$10 in American.
He's like, fuck you, you Nazi. No, it's like €5 is like $6. He's like, fuck you Nazis, fuck you Nazi prick, you Hitler, you son of a bitch. And they were like we haven't heard that before. Ugh, you know, they weren't offended and they just like kind of walked away and we all, Tajin is what it's called, with the ceramic and everything in there.
Okay, yeah.
Tajin, we got some tajin.
The dish?
Yeah, I sat down with these German guys and had some tajin. And it was solid. It cost me like,
fucking Nazis.
you
I'm
Nazi motherfucker,
oh.
you Hitler motherfucker, you Nazi bitch.
Huh.
What's funny though is like, you know, I'm sorry we're cussing so much, but
That's me.
we do that sometimes. This is
That's
not. This is an
mainly me.
adult show, so you know.
I really hope no kid wants to know about beer. Listen, you kids, okay? I'll tell your freaking parents.
Yeah, no, we won't. You cool babies, you watch us talk about beer. You cool.
Good cat, bad cat.
Have you ever heard of a
Brooklyn
show called?
Nine-Nine.
Have you heard of a show called My Brother and Me podcast?
Wait, my brother and me? Or
My brother.
My brother.
It's
and
My
me?
Brother and Me. It's three brothers, and they all sound like a variation of Timon from
like
Timon
Lion
and
King?
Pumbaa, Lion King. Yeah, they all have that kind of like real throaty kind of. Not Puma, but Timon.
Oh, okay.
That kind of like
Northern?
The guy from the producers kind of like that kind of sound. But one of their first things is like, Travis says he's a sexpert, but if there's a certificate on the wall, I've never seen it. This show is for adults. We're only saying this because we want to let you cool babies know. You know, say
Yeah.
something about cool babies.
You cool babies that we're the bees.
Anyways, getting back to Morocco, I guess they don't know that fuck you is such a bad thing. So they'd be like,
fuck you.
they'd be like, no, fuck you, pay me this good price. This good price. Don't worry, be happy. Fuck you, pay me.
But I mean, honestly, in America, is it really that bad of a thing? I say fuck you so many times a day. I'm pretty sure I say fuck you to you.
You
plenty
don't
of
say,
times.
hey, Miss Lisa, when is our check getting here? Fuck you, pay me.
No, but I've told Miss Lisa, no, fuck you, Miss Lisa. In a loving sense, though.
Oh, okay.
It was one of those times when I was grinding on her. Out at the
You
venue.
lying. You
You
lying.
know I grind. I
It's
backed
Halloween.
that
It's
thing.
probably our Christmas party.
No, it was not at all, and I wish it was. It was during service hours.
Service hours.
Oh, so what's that lady who comes plays with the guy that plays the saxophone?
Tina.
Tina? It was one of her sets, so
Tina.
what's that? Thursday?
Napoli? Yeah.
Thursday or Sunday or something like that?
They only play on Friday or Saturday.
Or Friday? Yeah, so it was one of those Friday nights I had off, and next thing you know, I'm backing that thing up on Miss Lisa.
Things escalated.
Very quickly, and, you know, I'm not proud of it, but I wouldn't change it. So I guess I am kind of proud of it. Hope you enjoyed it, Miss Lisa.
She did.
Hashtag. Never mind.
Hashtag
Like I said.
massive heart on. Hashtag massive heart
I
on.
was just about long digging in the hashtag.
If you guys want to see that can, Prometheus. Prometheus.
Palm. There's no R.
Prometheus. If you guys want to see that.
It is a great beer.
That is
I
a
didn't-
good beer.
I didn't like the cranberry so much from
This one's
Three
solid.
Taverns.
That one's had a very like skittly kind of
You talking about the serpent?
skittly do serpent bite. No,
Yeah.
rainbow serpent.
Yeah, the rainbow serpent. Yeah, this is a little bit more full flavored on the hoppy side. It's not so.
It's solid. It's good.
I don't like sour beers,
But yeah, they use fuck you a lot. So they'd be like, oh no, for you, good price. Butter Buzz. Monk's Midri, for you $12, good price. Fuck you, pay me, okay? Don't worry,
Fuck
be
you, pay
happy,
me.
buddy. Don't worry, be happy. Fuck you, pay me. It's good price.
So they're basically doing off any like Bob Marley song, any like old age comedian from the 90s, or.
Yeah, fuck you, pay me.
Because that's what I heard about the Philippines is like they just got out of disco. The Philippines? They literally just got out of disco.
So if you're somebody who is a not really well known local kind of like, here's my mixtape, I'm gonna drop it off with my receipt
Thanks,
at
though.
McDonald's. If you're a person who, yeah, we're on this one. So if you are one of those guys who like are a local artist, move to another country. Like
oh,
honestly,
you'd be fired.
you will be a star in
You will
another
be
country.
fired.
Like you might not be great here because let's say it's saturated, let's say you're a local hip hop artist, and here it is saturated. There's so much. Everybody's dropping their mixtapes. Everybody's making albums. There's good people out here, but it's oversaturated by a lot of shit. Go somewhere else where it's not, and you'll be a fucking star. And you're going to be exotic.
Pioneering the field.
And you're going to be exotic because, let's say you're a black guy and you're in. I'm going to use this for example because this is truth. Let's say you're in Denmark and you're a black guy doing hip hop. There's a guy I listen to in hip hop, or listen to in Denmark, and he did rap, his hip hop. It was not great. It was just okay. It's something you would hear on Kids Bop, you know. It was there. It rhymed.
So it's
there
like
was
90s
a
upbeat.
It was okay, but he was in all of the radio stations, and he was on TVs and commercials and stuff. And I'm like, man, this guy would be joked on in Albany or in anywhere in the States. Yeah. So go to another country, find you a mail order bride, find you a European chick. Eastern European chicks are beautiful. Find you one of them, do your rap out there, you'll be a star, you'll make lots of money.
Well, sounds crazy, but even Queen, their first major tour, if I'm not mistaken, was in the United States.
Really?
Queen, yeah. Because
You're a damn lie.
Google it.
I can't Google, it's too late now.
I can't Google it.
Yeah, by the way, guys, if you're just now watching or if you don't know, his phone broke here. I was gonna use his phone to help us kind of like promote a little bit more, let people know what's kind of going on to his friends maybe that want to check it out. That was his phone. He broke his phone. Green screen, all kinds of bullshit. He was playing this banjo back here, this 5-string banjo, getting it tuned up, and yeah, his phone just fell down. Literally, like this far from his leg to the ground, from his knee to the ground, broke.
I've literally dropped that thing out of trees, off second-story houses.
Perfect.
From remodels all the way to climbing trees.
Perfect. No issues. Worked perfectly fine.
Saddest song on the list.
There's a violin up there, right up there. You see it up here? Where my finger's pointing? Up on that shelf.
Damn it. Don't hate me.
Oh God, he's got to pee again.
Little tiny man bladders.
And he's taking his tiny little butt of a cigarette. Bring that around so people can see this tiny little cigarette. This one cigarette this guy's been working on.
Every time I take a piss,
Every time he goes outside, this little tiny cigarette. Look how beat the hell up this thing is.
I'm an angry peer.
Look at that.
Angry, violent pissery.
I should start a brewery called the Angry Pisser.
Angry pisser.
Hashtag.
Trademark.
It's trademark. So if you guys want to try to make a beer called the Angry Pisser, you can't now. It's too late. Somtang Wandu said the first one was in Cornwall. Was their first concert. Good looking out there, Somtang Wandu. See, he didn't know what he was talking about. He said it was in the States. It's Cornwall. So Cornwall is in England, correct? There probably is a town or city in the States called Cornwall, but I'm assuming that it means this in Europe or in England. This is my guess. So I'm liking this stream, but I'm not actually seeing any of the Facebook comments on it, which is concerning because I kind of want to see if anybody from Facebook says anything.
Oh, there's my phone.
Yeah, you tossed it. There's your phone. It's on the ground exactly where you tossed it.
It's weird.
So he said Cornwall. Somtang Wandu said that it was Cornwall was their first concert.
Well, Paramisue. Excuse me.
Did you just cuss in some language?
No, that's Spanish, I'm not
What'd you
mistaken.
say?
Broken Italian. Paramisue. It's broken Spanish for excuse me, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a guy that I follow that travels all throughout South America, and he speaks He speaks great Spanish, but sometimes on his Instagram he'll do like "Hola, mucho gusto, me llamo es Tim."
I've seen him, yeah.
Te llamo es, and he'll just like destroy the language, even though he's been traveling in South America for like years. His Spanish is amazing, but he does it for shits and giggles. Anyways, Baby Bladder over here chugged down his beer. It's all gone. Let me change to a camera you guys can actually see. Yeah. His beer is all gone. I'm sitting, I probably should go ahead and drink my... Are you about to pee again?
No, I'm about to grab another beer.
Oh, you're getting a Sholey while I wait on it.
Ooh.
This is what we do.
Glad I got to come out for the first time. Talk shit with everybody.
Yeah, man. We're talking about getting pitted.
Pitted? Oh! I do that too well. Fuck. That's all the years of surfing. I mean, I grew up, dude. It's crazy. I grew up. My babysitters. My mom was a teacher. My dad was a businessman. My babysitters, since I was literally in diapers, would take me out on their board and just throw me in a life jacket, put me on the tip of their longboard, and just take me out. Just picture me being 1 year old.
Yeah. So, from a surfer, what do you think about movies like Johnny Tsunami and Surf Ninjas that are really big into surfing? And I mean, there's other movies out there, but those are the ones from my childhood.
I love it. I mean, it's just the inspirational aspect of getting away from this whole technology and going out in the ocean and just finding yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, really, each movie is about that. Even the Surf Ninjas and, Johnny Tsunami.
We're on this one right here.
Anyway, it's just going out and finding yourself.
I hate that I'm old, that whenever I watch Johnny Tsunami, I see his uncle, who's grandpa, who is Johnny Tsunami, because the other one's Johnny Kapahala. Johnny Tsunami is Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. He's also in Man in the High Castle, which is a great show if you guys ever get a chance to watch it. It's a Philip K. Dick book turned into a show. And his dad is like the bad guy from, was it?
I don't know about his dad.
His dad was the bad guy in, I think it was Karate Kid 2 or Karate Kid 3. Which one's the one where he goes to Japan?
I never saw past the first one.
If you guys could let me know. His dad is either Karate Kid 2 or Karate Kid 3 when he goes to like Okinawa, and I think it's Okinawa, and he sees like his Mr. Miyagi's like brothers.
Oh, are you talking about Will Smith's son?
No. This is like Karate. I think it's Karate Kid either 2 or Karate Kid 3. It's when like Ralph Macchio goes to Japan, and it's Okinawa, and it's the whole like ice breaking thing. So he's like this, and then he does the boom, and he breaks through the ice. But his main like antagonist is basically Johnny Kapahala's dad. So it's weird to see these guys, and then to see, and then I'm not even sure these guys are actually Japanese, which I guess in cinema it doesn't really matter. We'll have like white guys who play mixed guys, and
Well, I'm pretty sure Johnny Cabanala is actually pigeon, or not pigeon, what is it, the Hawaiian birth?
he looks just like my friend Tony Bailey when Tony Bailey was young. Just like him.
Filipino?
No, Tony Bailey is like Puerto Rican, but he looked like Johnny Tsunami back in the days. So everybody used to call him Johnny Tsunami, but it's Tony B. He's a cool guy. I would love to have him on the show and just drink some beer with him, but Tony B lives in like fucking Florida or something. He doesn't come back to Albany, which, I don't blame you. But, Albany gets a lot of shit, and people are probably going to not want to hear about any of this, but anybody who's from Albany, they know Albany gets a lot of shit. Albany's got lots of cons and it's got lots of pros. So the cons would be that a lot of people who live in this town, it's very low cost of living. So there's lots of projects, there's lots of like lower cost of living, there's lots of crime. We had a high murder rate at one point. I think we still do. But because of the low cost of living, it is a great central spot. It is a great home base. So if you stay here, it's cheap to live here. And let's say
save up. It's a good way to start your dreams.
Right, within an hour to 5 hours, you can be anywhere you want to be any nature you want to see. So if you're like I want to be
Waterfalls.
hiking in the mountains, I want to see waterfalls. You go to North Georgia. It's within a day's trip.
I want springs 2.5 hours to Jenny.
Yeah, you can go to Jenny Springs. You can
want
go.
the Gulf another hour and a half.
You can go and be in the beach. You can go scuba diving. You can waterfalls and caves and like canyons and any kind of nature you want to see. It's within range of a day trip. If you like history, we've got tons of like Civil War, tons of Native Americans. We've got Andersonville. We've got
Arlington.
You've got the Kolomoki Mounds. You've got Savannah. You've got St. Augustine.
Macon.
Tons of like old history. If you like, if you want to travel, you can use Albany as a hub, and within a couple hours drive, you're within the distance of I think it's the busiest airport in the world, which is Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think it is the busiest.
I thought it was second to Houston.
So it is one of the busiest airports in the world. Or if you have international flight, you can either do Atlanta or you can do Jacksonville. Same distance. You can be out of the country.
J-Bo, baby.
Super, super cheap. There's lots and lots of pros. There are cons, though.
Coming from me, where I literally left an island. I lived on an island, and there's only 2 ways off. Either you're going to Jacksonville or you're going off towards Yulee. And beautiful-wise, it's different. It's not the beaches. It's not the marshes. But you do have the marshes here, and you have some beautiful nature. And it's a lot cheaper to live here.
Super cheap to live here.
Because what I would be paying at the duplex I have now, I'm paying like, for both of our rent, $500, not including utilities. And
I'm paying 10% of what I would be paying in Atlanta. 10% of what I'm paying.
You'd be paying like 15% of what you've been paying in Florida.
Yeah.
Or no, actually 30%.
So it's
your house
super
is huge.
cheap to live here. What's actually funny is like when I went on my first big Euro trip, right? I went out there for 3 months, which is the maximum amount, 90 days within a 180-day period that you can be in Europe without a visa. So just your passport, flying into Europe. 180 days, you can be there for 90 days of it. Where am I going with this?
Cheap.
Yeah, super cheap. So, fuck man, the beer's getting to me, man.
I know it was way more expensive to even just do hostels than it was in Ireland to just live here. And plus, you're paying for all your food. You don't get groceries. You don't have those luxuries like you do
So if
here.
you use apps like Skyscanner, you can usually find trips. And if you go off season, which is usually from September to early December, and from early January to maybe late April, maybe May, you can get tickets. You can probably fly to Europe for $400 round trip.
That's beautiful. Have you ever looked into the military airlines?
No. I just use EasyJet, Ryanair, anything that's like cheap. I just bring a carry-on bag. It makes it cheap for me.
They have this airline. It's through the military. It's C-130s. It's not your high class, but if you don't have any felonies, you don't have any record or anything like that, you can hop on these planes for $50 to $100 each trip to Germany, to...
That's whenever you're there or from States?
From the States. There and back. Each way.
How do you even find tickets for that?
You got to go on through the military website. And what they do is you're sitting there, you got to go through Hellacious security, but you're sitting there with a bunch of Army, Marines, whatever, Air Force, and you're flying overseas in an AC-130, nothing but seats. You don't have your party peanuts or your complimentary drinks or anything like that, but you get your carry-on, you go over there, you come back, it's like $50. My friend did it. It was $50, or I can't remember if it was 50 or 150 to Costa Rica, and then like another $70 or $80 back from Costa Rica in the AC-130.
That's cheap, man. We've both done a lot of traveling, so if you guys ever want to get in contact with us and you want to know anything, you have any questions, you can find me on Instagram. Mine is Bumeo, so B-U-M-E-O. It's kind of like a bum and Romeo, Bumeo. You can literally send me a direct message and ask me questions, and I can help you get there for fairly cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Or Chandler, what is your Instagram? So if anybody needs to follow you.
The real motherfucking McCoy. But just
The
ask
re-
Brandon. He'll give it to you.
Just what is it on Instagram? Do you know
The
these?
real motherfucking McCoy.
So how's motherfucking spelled?
MUFUKIN MCCOY.
Chandler McCoy. So you can look him up on.
You can't look me up by Chandler McCoy on Instagram.
Yeah. So I don't know if you ever want to talk about this, but didn't you have some kind of like strand of weed when you lived out in California, or is that kind of like
No.
Code 14 classified?
It wasn't California, but yeah, I had something called the real McCoy that my father worked on for many years, and he taught me how to cross-pollinate and derive the strands that we wanted and the strongest females to build an actual seed that we wanted. And like the whole process took like a year and a half of just me and him, nonstop, just bouncing ideas off each other. Because he gave me a book from when he was in college, How to Grow Marijuana, and it told the basics of growing from soil. But then we introduced hydroponics, and then we introduced nitrogen to stimulate the growth of the plants, everything like that. And it's all pH balanced. I mean, it's all pH based.
Sure. See about any new comments on here. You still have a bunch of remaining strands of that, don't you?
No, well,
Or was that lost within the
no,
time?
I have a couple that I haven't produced yet because I haven't had the environment that I can go back to where we were. Because if I take dumbed down areas to try and produce what I was producing, you're not gonna produce it. Like,
How do you feel about the market of Albany, like whenever it gets legalized here, or Georgia? Not Albany, but Georgia.
actually is already legal in a sense of medical supply companies. One of my buddies who we've been tickling about ideas of me moving to Douglas to take care of a farm for him, which is going to be funded by the government, but he's just going to buy the land and they give him a percentage of it, and I'm going to run it for him. And we're
Did you get a cut of the
Yeah.
bud?
well, no, he's going to cut me money.
Right, because it's still illegal here.
No,
It's decriminalized in Atlanta, but it's still illegal here. So I would
Medically,
guess.
actually, it's legal to grow hemp.
So I would say within the next 1 to 5 years, it will be
Let's say-
recreationally illegal here, or recreationally legal here.
I would say within 3 to 5, it would be medically legal, and then another. So within 9 years, it will be decriminalized, legal, federally.
You don't think it'd be recreational, like?
What I mean by like federally, the whole
You wouldn't be
United
able.
States.
You wouldn't be able to go to a like. When I was
3
in
to 5.
Oregon and when I was in Alaska
Go to a
and
shop?
Canada, you go to a cafe or a smoke shop or
I
a
say
coffee shop, head shop.
I say 3 to 5 for that, and it's so you can go right now and get your green card, nugsmd.com. You can go get your green card. It's from a different state, but even if you drive down to Florida with this green card, it's still illegal. But the thing about going from Florida to Georgia is you're talking about going across state lines, which is an extreme felony, so it's really not worth it.
It's not worth it. Yeah, just wait it out, or if you
Yeah.
can get some kind of like legal CBD, there is some that will hit you on a drug test, and
Yeah, 'cause
I know that there are a lot of farmers
CBD
out
is
there.
1% THC.
Yeah, 1 to 3 to 5.
But our body naturally only produces 15 nanograms.
Yeah.
And usually when you smoke 1%, you're up to 25 nanograms, 30 nanograms.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of farmers here locally that are getting ready to hop on the business of it, and they're wanting to get ready. So when it does hit, they'll be some of the first ones in.
Well, like I'm saying, my friend who is in Atlanta.
The Beer Jesus, what's up, man? Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, my friend from Atlanta, though, he's buying land in Douglas right now. And he's getting government sanctionings to pay for everything for it.
To get that prep, so when it gets legal, he's one of the first
No,
ones in on it.
actually, he's going to do hemp for now and then do greenhouses next because hemp right now is legal.
Yeah.
to grow in Georgia. You just have to be on
There's something that's getting ready to pass here at the beginning of the year, right? Or maybe the very, very end of the
It
beginning
just
of the
got
year.
passed this year. It was the hemp.
No, I mean something that's like right now. Like it's
I
gonna happen like
know.
really, really soon.
I hope so. I really hope so. Georgia is a cash crop for growing pot. It has more seasons than most places. It has more seasons than Northern California.
To be the new pot capital.
It's
I know when I was
actually-
in Morocco, like when I was in Chefchaouen,
Hashish was
dude, you're walking through this blue city. Everything's painted blue, like a turquoise almost, like a light turquoise. And then you see the mountains or this giant grassy, foresty hills, and you realize that is all weed. And then you have like little kids come up to you. It's a bit of a culture shock. And you have little kids come up to you trying to sell you weed.
on the sun side of the mountain.
And
Where
it's
the
next
sun-
to nothing.
Where the sun rises, that's where the plants are. On the other side, they don't have any.
And it's all guarded, you know. Moroccan guards. Let's hop into this last bad boy. This here Butterbuzz. Just a
excited.
beer reviewer and a cook streamer. Just sending some love. Thanks for popping in, man. Thanks for checking us out. We're drinking a lot of local beer. We're talking about everything from weed to travel, everything from Ireland to Morocco. But yeah, these are a lot of local beers that we got in here. Right now we've got Butterbuzz we're getting ready to hop into. It's a butterscotch mead. Charming blend of vanilla, spice, and maple. It's from Monk's Meadery, Georgia. Doesn't say exactly where in Georgia it's from.
I'm kind of excited.
Athens, Georgia, man. That is not too far away.
It is not. Shout out to Athens. I've spent a lot of time there.
Ooh.
Doesn't
It's
seem
a lot
as
more
thin.
carbonated than I thought it would
Yeah.
be for a mead. Okay.
And
Do you,
still
want,
got it?
do you want to get a
Yeah, I would like a cleanse for this one.
get a little cleanse on me? Clean it up. You know, we were drinking a sour before, and I don't want that working into my beer. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting lots of like sour notes at the very beginning. There's some blueberry. There's some.
There's
what
a
am I
lot of
getting? Some
IPA there.
pomegranate.
Yeah, I can't wait for Georgia to be legal though.
I'm actually not much of a weed smoker, but
I mean,
I
just
don't
for the
have
cash
any.
crop.
I don't have any beef with it, and I like what it could do for our state. There's
for our
not
country.
much carbonation on this.
Yeah.
Like
What's
when
a
I-
mead?
when I popped it, I
What's a
thought there
mead?
was going to be a lot more of a head, but I'm getting like zero fucking head. I'm getting lots of spilling, but zero fucking head.
Oh yeah, yep, that's definitely mead.
Yeah. Are we about to power through this one?
Yeah,
Butterbuzz.
we'll see.
A story in every drop.
I mean, I'll go Viking. My family is from Scotch Island.
So there's just letters going across the whole top of it, and I don't really know what it's saying. I just wish people would understand that just because you're high, you can't drive. I think weed. What do you say?
Yeah, no, you shouldn't drive.
To dry hopped mead. Honestly, weed. I'm tired of hearing about. I prefer knowing about hemp.
That's what.
Well,
Oh, hemp. That's what I'm saying. Most of the people in.
Beautiful color.
Okay,
hemp.
so my friend who is trying to buy land in Douglas is starting a hemp farm. Just so that's where it's better paper, better fibers. You can do so much with it. Wood. You can take away from the trees because hemp, it grows fast and you get to cut down fast. It's not so much like trees do. Trees are more environmentally friendly. They do more long period wise. Hell, if I could find a hemp plant that I could climb and cut down, I wouldn't be climbing trees. Actually, that's why I quit climbing trees, was because I was taking out trees in Florida that were 200 years old, like old.
You felt guilty.
I did. I really did. It kind of ruined me because, I was taking out trees that didn't need to be taken out that were so magnificent and
You were
beautiful.
like these trees were here when the first people were. Well, not the
I mean-
first people, but like actually the first Europeans.
I'm talking
No,
about
not
like
even that, no.
5-6 feet in diameter.
Math, not really, but
No, they
old.
200-300 years old.
Yeah.
The biggest tree I've taken down was close to 250 years old.
Real trailblazer. Very good for him. You saying your friend's a real trailblazer. Good for him.
Yeah, thank you. He's actually getting government funded. He's buying the land and then getting government funded behind it. He's talking to the governor of Georgia. He is.
So it's kind of like having a lot of lands and letting them put big satellite towers on it.
Yeah, but it's more
But it's better for the-
eco-friendly and better for the economy.
Boy, this
Really?
smell though.
I know, right? It's thick. It's
That
like, it's a enticing but like a little scary.
We might have messed up drinking this last.
Last?
We probably should have drank this first. Even though, okay, this is lighter for a mead, right? So
Yeah,
it's only
6%.
It's only 6%, so it's a little lighter on the mead side. I'm used to double digits on a mead, so or early, maybe in the 18s, 19s, something like that, 17.
Ooh, that's full flavored.
Interesting.
That is very interesting. It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you lying to me?
No, it's good. It's not like overpowering, but it's just like it's a different flavoring. It's a different
I'll
palate.
show you guys the can just in case you want to know. Out of Athens, Georgia.
Damn Athens.
Monk's Meadery. 6%, you're right, 6% shouldn't have much of a head on it.
Let me see.
I hate the Nergigante. Don't hate the Nergigante. The Nergigante is great.
Cheers.
You wait till those parts get long, and then you break them, and he falls over. And then you attack the next part that gets long, and he falls over. Trust me, after a while, the Nergigante will be a joke to you. I promise. This hoodie makes me... Never mind.
You can't even see it.
No.
Can't even see that shit.
I'm gonna get into this. I'm just kind of waiting a bit. I'm a little nervous going.
It is really good.
The last meat I had
It's not so sweet.
really tore me up. So since the last time I had that, I've been iffy about going into meats.
It's meats are definitely different. It's
Oh,
not.
that's light.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was about to say it's
It's
not.
6%. I mean, I should have known that with the 6%, but
You know, you
The
gotta
last
be
one.
careful.
the last one really got me.
Be careful.
Like I said, it was in double digits, and it got me. It was something that our local brewers made, and they were
Was
like,
it Austin?
yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, this is my small batch.
Yeah.
It's a little rough. It tasted like, honestly, it had like a high tequila agave kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
It was rough.
I mean, with this, you even get like a hint of caramel with like agave behind it. Still, it's just how they brew mead.
I'm digging it. Athens, the
Fan.
Monk Meadery.
I'm a fan. I do love mead though. I do love mead.
That is pleasant. I'll put that right there so you guys can get that color. It almost looks like piss in the color. In the best possible way possible. Don't pee again, man. Hold it.
I have to pee my pants.
God, baby bladder. All right, he's gonna go pee real quick, and he's gonna smoke the last little bit of filter that he has left on his cigarette.
Get a fresh one.
I hope that on my next travel I can continue with the streaming. I might end up only doing it with just my phone and doing like Twitch from my phone. You're super limited on it. There's only so many options you have. You don't have filters. I can't like swap through. I can't swap through filters. I don't have transitions and layers and things like that. So that's a problem. But how is the katana weapon? The longsword, it's great. It's got parries, it's fast. If you're playing multiplayer, you will trip everybody around you and they will all hate you. Solo does great work. You might want to look up some tutorials on YouTube on how to use the weapon. There's a lot of stuff you didn't really tell you. But anyways, I hope that when I start traveling again, that I can start interviewing local people when I travel. So if I'm in Thailand, I can find kind of like a well-known kickboxer or
Chawulai.
Chawulai. I don't know who Chawulai is, but I could find like a kickboxer or somebody who's local, even somebody who trains kickboxing, and just if they have good English, try to talk to them, try to work on my Thai.
His dad owns one of the highest, what's it called, hotels.
Chawulai?
Chawulai. His father owns one of the highest hotels in Thailand. Bangkok? No.
Maybe.
Maybe Bangkok. Bangkok, yeah.
In Thailand, yes.
Yeah, he's a state representative of
Mhm.
Thailand.
Yeah, I was supposed to have already gone on my Southeast Asia trip, but you know, I got a girlfriend and it kind of affected my money. But you know, these things do happen.
Life. You gotta do what makes you happy.
So now I'm poor. So
I was there too. Now I'm going to Texas.
so mead,
It is
Monk's
great.
Meadery, you guys did a great job.
I mean, it's still kicking my ass though. Fuck.
It's only 6%. It's just the fact that we just worked through 6 beer and they're all like craft beer, so they catch up with you.
But it is delicious.
It is.
Personally, I like it. I like meat.
Scrumptulescent.
I like meat though. It's not as hinting as honey as I would like, but it still has that full flavor.
It's good. It's nice.
Cheers, me brother.
Me brother. That's funny. Like, do you know the way? No, it's funny. You're like had like a little kind of Jamaican accent. I met a guy in Ireland called Brian, or if you guys want to look him up, his name is Bam, like B-A-M. I'm guessing that's his initials, Brian Alexander Mongoose. I don't know what his last name is. Brian, but his name is Bam, and you look up Bam Artist on YouTube and you can listen to him. And he's a Jamaican guy with a Jamaican accent, you know, in Ireland, singing like he's what do they call it, busking.
Mm-hmm.
So he's singing songs in Ireland. I met him in Galway. They are a mixture of like field hollers, like slave music, mixed with that's actually they're called field hollers.
Okay.
So he's got a Jamaican accent. He does field hollers mixed with Irish folk songs, and he like mixes them all
beautiful.
together, and they sound great.
I mean, two of the most predominant slaves in the entire world. The Irish and
Yeah,
Native American
and they
African American people.
they worked well together. He made it work. And I think I've gone to Ireland 3 times, and I try to seek him out. Anytime I go to Galway, I try to go find him because he doesn't really live anywhere. He doesn't have a permanent home, so he stays in hostels. He busks, sings, no instrument, just a speaker, a microphone. That's it.
Oh man.
He usually puts a plastic bag over it's raining. He wears like a 3-piece suit and like a fedora, and like not the corny way, not the like beta like my lady, not like that. But he wears a fedora and
One of the Irish fucking wax fedoras.
no, it's like a woven, almost like almost like knitted or something. But he'll wear a fedora and he sings these songs, makes his money, stays at a hostel, goes to the next hostel or stays there for a couple of nights and just keeps going and doing his thing, man. He's living the life.
Fuck yeah. I know Brian Ernst. He's a white guy who comes to the United States, has a bus, and he has his like camping in the bus like it's a camper bus. But what he does is he goes to restaurants and he takes their old grease, uses it in his bus, distills it, turns it into biodegradable diesel, and goes around the United States. And all the money he makes, he goes back to Africa and builds aquifers or dams, or he's a white guy. Brian Ernst. He plays the guitar, loops everything over. Amazing musician that y'all should definitely check out because
Check it out.
he's beautiful.
Does great work. What's his name again?
Brian Ernst.
Ernst.
E-R-N-E-S-T.
Ernest.
Or E-R-E-N-S-T.
Ernst.
Brian Ernst.
Yeah. You're not gonna find him. You're not gonna. And his phone is fucked, so he's not gonna be able to look him up.
Great guy. Just look up Brian Africa Ernst.
E-R-E-N-S-T.
Yeah.
Ernst.
Ernst.
E-R-E.
E-R-E.
E-R-N-S-T. Ernst.
Ernst.
Somewhere.
But he's great, man. Just look him up. Brian Africa. Musician.
Some reason why on the screen it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't remember typing that in. Well, actually, I guess I did. All right.
Perfect. Those me's are kicking in.
I think since I'm typing it in here, it's registering in the chat, and when I hit enter, which goes to my next camera, it enters it in. So sorry guys if you're getting random numbers. Sometimes it beats like that.
Worth it.
Let's work through this meat and go ahead and rate these beer, man, before I start having to pee.
I don't know how you, well, you're a giant man compared to me, so. He's like 3 times the size of me.
Not.
I'm a man child.
He's calling me fat, man. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, and I'm like microscopic then.
Michael Scott?
Yeah, millimeter Peter.
No, Michael Scott, man.
Yeah, millimeter Peter.
No, man. Michael Scott, The Office.
Millimeter Peter.
I don't think it ever showed up on the show, did it? You're just making shit up.
No, it did not.
I'm done. I'm donezo. Let's get these out of the way and go ahead and start rating some beer. Go ahead and drink your shoulder, but we'll get these on there. Shoaley is from Pretoria. That is their flagship beer. That is their #1 IPA.
It's my favorite.
It is a great beer, and it's actually named after. Some say Pliny the Elder. Some say Pliny the Elder. I know it as Pliny the Elder, but I've had people correct me and say, "Oh no, it's Pliny the Elder." But whatever. I know its roots. I know its roots in history, where they got it from. So what we'll do is we'll rate these beer. This will be the first over here, and this will be the worst. The first and the worst. Not saying that whoever's in the very end is a bad beer. You get props just for making a beer, period. But we're gonna rate these beer on how we like them as far as preferences.
I'll start off with this one. I would say.
No, you're gonna put them on the board where they are listed.
Oh,
So whatever's the least favorite beer, you go ahead and put it in the back.
that's so hard. Cause I mean,
You can do this, man.
it's a great beer, and I just want to say I would rate it out of mine way above any Coors or Mick Ultra or
That's without being said.
without being
And
said.
those light beer have their place. If you're scooting down the creek in a kayak and you want a light beer, you're playing beer pong with your bros and you just want to have a beer to fill the cups. Miller Lite, Bud Light, those work.
Would I play beer pong with this? No, because I'm not a fucking psychopath.
That's fair. So you're gonna put this at the very end, right?
Yes.
And then I'm guessing since you don't like sours, that you're gonna move this one down here.
Yes. And then my next is this one, and then it's a hard fucking tie. for this
No,
one.
man, don't stack them. You gotta pick one, man.
Ah. That ass though.
You like sit your ass down.
Yeah. Yeah, sit your ass down, man. It grooved with me. It's what I wanted. What I
Okay.
wanted.
That's his listing. If you guys want a screenshot, this will be the moment to do it. Our faces. All right. I like sours. I do like IPAs, but it took me a while to work into a flavor for them. I'm not gonna put the mead last because I did like that.
Just have this weird aftertaste.
The mead.
So for the most part, we're about this. Ooh, okay.
I like sours, but I do like IPAs. Like I'm not calling any.
But that
I'm not
is
talking
more
shit
my
to
palate.
these.
No. It's your palate, man. That's really what it comes
I
down to.
don't know if I really want to put this at the very end because it was really good.
It was really good. I mean, I would say that was like a 4.5.
That's great. That's almost
Yeah.
a perfect beer.
You know what I mean? Like that's a 4.5.
You're rating it high. Halim would laugh in your face right now. Halim would give this a 1.5. He would say none of these beer none of these beers are
So
even
we should have
close to a
Bud
3.
Light, Mick Ultra, and
No,
Coors.
no, he likes German beers. He likes
Like Weimankugel or whatever it's called. Weimankugel.
Leinenkugel. No.
Not Leinenkugel. What's it called? The German beer they sell at the packaging store.
I don't
The
know.
ones that CeeLo loves so much.
I don't know.
Shout out to CeeLo if you hear me. Fuck you.
Damn, that's fucked up. I'm not gonna put. I feel bad putting this dead last because I actually did like this.
It was a great beer, but man,
None of these beers were awful. None of these beers I had difficulty
I've had a
with.
great time.
These were all good
Yeah.
beer. All of these were solid beers. I would rate any of these beers a 3.
I mean,
at
even-
least a 3
Even
minimum.
though I joked about powering through this was still a great beer and I enjoyed it. It's just not my forte.
People give me shit about it. These are amazing shower beers.
Oh God,
You're getting ready to go to work. You want to chug down a beer.
that's easy.
Perfect.
After your hangover. Okay,
Perfect.
so I'm not gonna lie. Sours is my go-to when I'm hungover the next morning, and I'm all fucked up. I found out that because of Sour Monkey.
Yeah. Well, Sour Monkey's got high anything. I don't know if all Victory Brewing does this, but I know their Victory Golden Monkey, and I think the Sour Monkey has a high ABV.
No.
I know.
Yeah, the one we saw at Momo
Doesn't
is
Golden
still
Monkey have like
5.7?
no? I think that those have a little higher ABV on them.
I'll look it up.
Sour Monkey ABV 9.5.
Oh shit! Really?
Yep.
Oh goddamn!
I know all their beers have, or not all the ones I've had.
No wonder I like it so much.
Golden Monkey is 9.5. Sour Monkey and Golden Monkey are 9.5.
Great.
So if you ever come to Mellow and you want, if you're not one of those people who are like, I gotta have it on draft. If it's not draft, it's crap. If you're not one of those guys and you can drink bottled beer, because there's lots of beer that they only come to bottle or can,
love good beer.
Sour Monkey and Golden Monkey is the way to go if you want high ABV and for a cheap price. You're looking at $5 a bottle, and you're looking at 9.5%. If you want beer, if you want liquor,
Okay, if you want homeless,
Fireball.
if you want homeless drunk, just drink at Long Island. Get
Drink
over with.
Fireball.
Or
Buy
Ice
3
House.
Fireballs for the price of that Long Island, and you'll be warm. You'll be good. All right, we're hopping on 2 hours and 16 minutes.
Well, I've had a lovely time with all y'all. Hopefully, one day when weed becomes legal, you hear about Mr. McCoy.
Yeah.
Besides that, I hope the hemp becomes prominent in Georgia, considering it just became legal. I hope the farmers will.
We're gonna go to this
take
wide
profits.
lens right here.
I mean,
Just right here.
all precautions are here in Georgia. Talk to your state senator, vote. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, it's up to us people.
Let people know you want to smoke some reefer, man.
No, not even smoking.
Oh.
Taking away from devouring our environment. I mean, I hate to sound like such a hippie because I was in the Marine Corps, so I'm not really hippie. But you know, our environment is important to us. Do something positive, whether it's pick up a piece of trash, throw away your cigarette butts, whatever.
Dude, we have a bad habit of that. Not we, but in Albany. Dude,
Yeah.
I drive by and see people just like
It's
drinking
fucking
and
ridiculous.
drinking a drink at McDonald's. They get done with it and just toss it. You know, you'll see like just trash everywhere. You'll go through the parking lot of McDonald's and you gotta, or not McDonald's, but Walmart, and you've got to dodge baby diapers and fucking trash on the ground, which is ridiculous.
For the most part, as a server, it sounds stupid. You know, the whole turtle craze. But growing up, I used to birth turtles. So we would dig up the old turtle sites because I worked for the National Resource Committee, or not National Resource. What is it? The state parks and recreation, whatever. Anyway, we would go dig up the old turtle sites and we'd bring the old turtles up, birth them, take them to the ocean in a bucket.
Pull the little eggs out.
Yeah, no, because they'd be half in, half out, just like, dig them up, put them in a bucket, and then wade out, dump them in the ocean. I
And then hope that fish don't snap them up before.
but anyway, like I usually bring 3 straws to a 6-stop,
Yeah.
just because the deviation of people who don't use straws compared to that. And if people ask me for straws, here's another straw.
Save a turtle, here's a straw.
I don't give a shit. Fuck it.
I saw a funny post today about places in Italy using pasta, like hollow pasta as straws instead.
Yeah.
Which I am okay with. Buongiorno.
Actually, Thailand got it right with the banana. What is the banana plant styrofoam that they're making?
I don't know.
It's a banana plant based styrofoam that's biodegradable.
You guys are doing a great job. Keep that shit up.
Love you.
Yes. Anyways, guys, these are our rated beers from first to last. These are great beers. These are my listings. If you check back about 10 minutes ago, you will see his listings. Just on preference, we're not knocking any of these beers. You always get a thumbs up from us for having for just making a beer. And like I said, we always try to do local if we can. Jake's going to be back in 2 weeks, so you guys will see Jake. Jake will have lots of crazy stories about Spanish girls and
Japanese,
Japanese.
and Italian, and
all kinds of stories. Jake will have that.
$1 trillion.
Buongiorno. Yeah, Jake will have all that. Andiamo.
Andiamo.
Jake will have all of that. So be ready for it. Be ready to see Jake, because when he's coming back in full guitar making mode.
And I'm excited.
We're gonna have some new glasses coming in. We're gonna have some new swag. We're gonna have I got a banner, I got a logo, I got somebody helping me with the site. So within the next month or two, lots of changes for the better.
And I hope I can come back.
Yeah, man, I loved having you on. I'm glad you finally got a chance to come on. So yeah, we're gonna say adieu to you guys. Thanks for coming in.
Raise hell, praise Dale, or raise Dale and praise hell. You don't want to get weird with it.
Yeah, whatever, tickles your pickle, But thanks for coming in, guys. We'll see
Love
you
you
next
all.
week.
Seriously.
Same time, same place.
Doing the same
Tradeskills.
dirty shit.
Yeah, man. Roll Tide, or Go Dogs, or
Fuck that chicken.
or War Damn Eagles, or whatever it is that you're into.
Just fuck that chicken.
Beer, whatever. We're tipsy. Thanks for coming on, guys.